and they can officially see and hear us. So, how are we all doing today? Hello and welcome to the bonus roll. I am your GM Gearnos, and today we'll be starting. Oh, I already fucked up. Good job. We will be starting the Briar Garden campaign. Joining me today are those players that have agreed to come on this journey with me. If you joined us at all for the Second Sight Agency campaign, you know that this is going to hopefully be a long-running campaign with many twists and turns and interesting events. You'll also notice that our layout is a little bit different than on Second Sight Agency. While we will be using Roll20, and if we are not actively using Roll20, we'll be using a screen layout like this or similar to this to allow easy visual of our players. Equilibrium is in the chat room. Hello, EQ. Thank you for joining us today. And I would love to everyone to just go around and introduce themselves while I get my notes ready.
Hi everybody, I'm Tux. Gear Nose requires me to state that I am here of my own free will. So, hey everybody, I'm Tux. For the Briar Garden, I am playing Bert, the Paquin rogue of the unsolicited choir.
A lot less of the in this game so far.
Hey Tux, what is a Paquin?
A Paquin! A Paquin is a custom race for this setting. Sorry, it's Andara?
Adra.
Adra. Completely screwed it up.
It's fine.
Not completely. You know. Two
About
out
one and
of
a half
3
dozen
syllables.
of the other.
It's fine. Yeah, sure. So basically, it is a psychic cat, but not like a cat person, but a cat with human intelligence.
So there is some unknown history for the Paquin and the other Calaquin races. While they resemble animals, they are possessed of human intelligence, and for some reason, most magic regards them as humanoid despite their bodily shape. They have a number of telepathic and telekinetic abilities that allow them to act as relatively in line with most humanoids, with minor modifications needed in some cases. Gesundheit.
So, all that. Meryl, how about you go?
Hi folks, I'm Merle. I am playing Buttons von Abigalden, a Harangon artificer, child of a noble house, and I'm not sure yet what else I should say about her. What else is there to say? She is first time I've ever played a Harangon or an artificer. So there's that.
She's a rabbit.
She's a rabbit, in case you can tell by the Harangon. Fun side fact, rabbits and hares are actually not particularly closely related. It's convergent evolution. Also, birds aren't real.
King!
Oh dear. Alright, I think that's good
Does
enough
that explain
for
why
us.
pigeons metagame?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, additional fun fact, if you live in the United States, when you think of a pigeon, that's not a wild animal. It's technically a feral one, because they're all descended from released pets.
Accurate.
Yeah. Anyway, who hasn't gone yet? Fuck. Pardon my language. Coffee's still taking effect.
Ronnie, how about you introduce your character?
I knew it. I knew it.
Yeah,
My name is Ronnie, and I'm sorry?
At least you're not going
It
last
was,
this
it was
time.
either you or
I know,
Zizza.
exactly. The character I'm gonna be presenting is Ren. He's a warlock. He's an elf. More specifically, he's an Eladrin, and even more specifically, he's a Eladrin of spring or springtime Eladrin. One of those kind of Eladrin that stays permanently in one season. And whether or not that's outside of his control, I'm not really sure yet. And he'll be a warlock of the subclass Archfey, with specific ties to a very specific Archfey who gives him his powers. And I would describe him as kind of wild, maybe mercurial in some instances, but kind. And my idea with him is that he's looking for someone that was long lost to him long ago. And very handsome.
A must.
I just love to say before I introduce my character that the character's just like, maybe about human intelligence. Has a 17.
Sorry, yes, I'll be frank. Average human intelligence in my campaigns is 8 because
Right.
I have interacted with the public.
So,
Okay, look.
so I'm Azuzuma, and
Hmm.
you can call my character Kala. I'm going to be playing a Rose, who is a fairy from the Feywild. She got transformed and brought back to Audra, and she's currently living in Port Glassbreaker, selling flowers.
All right, I think we're about ready to begin. Are y'all all ready?
I'm born ready. Actually, that's entirely a lie. But I'm ready for now.
On continent of Elbgrid resides the queendom of the Silver Roses. Founded in 736 after ordaining by her blessed soul Renike the Silver Warrior, and bearing her name, the monarchy of Renike occupies a vast swath of Elgrid, particularly a majority of its western coastline, with its reach extending out slowly through the Scarisfolk forest. We do not begin our story there, though. We gather these disparate threads of narrative together at the edge of the glittering glass sea, known for its calm stillness that makes it a beautiful sight to behold, and yet a frightful one to navigate. For any sailor with experience knows that still waters mean still ships. And so we look then to the Port Glassbreaker, to its majestic tower strutting forth up into the sky from the center of Glassbreaker Bay, a foundation of the Sinon Institute, the premier institute of magical study, to the Wild Roses Park and the Queen's Fountain, a small park that is encircling the statue of her blessed soul, Renike the Silver Warrior. Fresh water pouring from her tilted shield. The park itself is a merriment of pink, white, red, and yellow wild roses. But our story does not start at the tower, and it does not start at the park. It starts at a small little house with a freshly planted garden at the side, and a halfling pulling what smells like the most delicious honey bread that you have come across ever from a roaring oven at the early hours of the morning. Kala, you've been staying here for a few days now. Bree has been nice enough that she's taken the liberty of removing every iron object from her house. or the iron objects that she can't remove, she has kindly painted over for you. Mind you, there's no actual danger to you from iron, but it's still a sweet gesture.
Can't even reach that one, Bree. Well, I mean, I could if I was flying, but it's probably safe.
It's all right, hun. I don't mind. And she sets the honey bread on the windowsill to cool, and then plucks 4 apples from the little basket of fruit that she keeps nearby and sets them on the table. Could you do me a favor and give each of those a little kiss? It's not the first time she's asked you to do this. She has this weird. You're not quite sure why, but she's asked you to touch various objects or give them kisses or something like of that nature. It always seems fairly innocent.
And Carla does so. Still slightly bemused, but noting it as probably a local custom.
She takes the apples and sets them on her cutting board to begin prepping them for what you assume is an apple pie due to the pie crust that she had been working on earlier. In exchange, she hands you one of the pieces of honey bread and gives you a little pat on the head. It's like, well, whatever you do today, do it with a smile with you. And a slightly different kind of morning, Bert. Uh, the house, quote unquote, that you have been staying in for the past little bit, the Saffron Seashore House. Very lovely name. Not that lovely of a place to stay. The room you're in has 6 bunks stacked on top of each other around the edge of the room, 4 of which have been occupied by sailors. But it is a cheap place to stay where people ask very few questions of you.
I hate to interrupt, but I thought they were renting a house, or did that change with Button's lifestyle?
Meryl, would Buttons put Bert in her house?
If you wanted, yeah. She
Yeah.
needs,
I'll be
She
honest, I
needs help
don't
from her
really take a
assistant now.
cot. I just kind of curl up in front of a fireplace.
So, right. Let me rephrase.
None of that
Which
was
is
an
easier
answer.
for the DM?
I really just need an answer from someone.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
Thank you. All right then. Just going to delete that little intro post that I wrote last night. And we can forget the Saffron Seashore exists. Bert. Early morning light streams in through the windows of the, one would be generous to call it opulent, but still rather nice townhouse. The people that had lived here previously left most of their stuff as a handful of gold and being told, hi, we would like to stay here for a while, tends to encourage vacation in some folk. From the kitchen, you smell the warming scent of a pot of tea that has been put on the fire by the housekeeper that remained behind to make sure y'all didn't loot the place and handled the day-to-day cleaning. Buttons, did you ever define your retainers?
I didn't get any retainers because
I
of the
thought you
change
took
in
noble.
background. I
It's
did.
Knight
No,
that has
Noble
3
doesn't.
retainers.
Yeah.
Ah, I thought you took knights.
He switched to, or she switched to Noble.
Ah, there's this rub. Okay. Buttons, You are greeted by the same scent, a kind of warm orangey scent mixed with black tea and the smell of cooking meat and hot molasses. Uh, the housekeeper acknowledges whoever comes in to the kitchen with a mug of steaming orange black tea as she heats molasses bread over an open pan and fries down a few slices of a few shanks of hog.
Okay, Bert is going to wake wake up, probably curled up somewhere. So he's gonna stretch out his arms and legs, stretch out his mouth. The long tongue comes out, and then he's going to slowly go around and he's going to check like the locks and like all the sort of means of entry to make sure they're still in order.
The windows don't open. The doors do have locks on them, though they're more for security impression than actual keeping someone out. You know from personal experience that if someone wants into a location, it's pretty easy for them to get in.
Yeah, basically looking for any sign of disturbance of the security mechanisms, like any locks unlocked that should have been locked, that sort of thing.
Nothing like that, though. There is a little bit of a disturbance in the front of the house. You recognize that this happens nightly, though, that the town watch, as they move through, check doors to ensure that they are locked.
He's gonna be a little not angry, just a little annoyed, but he's gonna kind of quietly what's the word? Calmly walk over to the housekeeper making the bread.
She looks down and kind of like nods at you. The middle-aged human, she has long black hair that has been tied back. You believe her name was Miss Tay, but you're not sure. Sorry, Miss Tay.
Thank you. Mistay or mistay? Okay. Okay, this is one thing that I forgot to ask. The psychic connection thing, how polite is that? Is
They
that
can
considered
choose to ignore you at will.
Right, but like making a psychic connection, is that as common as humans talking to each other, or would it be considered a little...
It is not violating the sanctity of their mind because you can't read their mind. It is basically the equivalent of walking up and talking to someone.
Okay, alright. Good evening, Miss Tay. And he kind of does like kind of a almost like a cat, like he sticks his front limbs forward and does like a slight bow.
It's slightly early in the morning for evenings, but you keep your own hours, sir. And she will set a plate of bacon rashers and a mug of black orange tea out for you. Is the lady up yet?
I'm going to stalk over to Buttons, and I'm going to very cautiously, if Buttons is asleep, kind of put a paw on either side and just like stare at their sleeping figure.
So
Buttons?
And then after a moment,
Oh,
but
go ahead.
sorry, what's your last name?
Von Ambergalden.
Lady Ambergod, wake up. Breakfast.
Buttons
I
with
do ask,
this. Go ahead.
What time of day is it?
It is about 7 a.m.
That is about when she gets up.
Okay, you wake up and there is a cat staring right at your face.
keep in mind, Pawkins are
Story of my life.
a bit larger than the house cat. I do believe, in this case, you are about 2 feet tall with a 4 foot length, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, your body's longer than Buttons at the bed.
Like how much
Yeah,
rough
so, like-
roughly how much do you weigh? Because Buttons is under 60 pounds.
Okay, so
at
the
that
idea
weight-
is that his paws are like on either, like, so that the bed's supporting him, right? It's almost like he has you kind of like pinned, but not really, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I get
He
it.
would be about the weight of, I would say, German settler. German setter, not German settler.
I have 90
Yeah,
pounds on my sheet.
that's about
I
right.
guess
you
we'll
are-
go with that.
You are a larger creature than Buttons is.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's he's kind of doing a bit. He thinks it's fun, like pretend like I'm a house cat.
Alright. So imagine just like a nest of blankets, which you can kind of see her shape underneath it, and then just like very slowly disheveled, one ear pops out and then another, and then just basically a mop of bed head just kind of looks kind of blearily up at Bert. Goes, is it morning already?
Yes, my lady.
Ah,
But
not
then
enough of my lady.
he's gonna
It's too early for my
very
lady.
elegantly hop off the bed.
Right. What was I?
You immediately smell tea and roasted boar shank.
Oh, that changes things. Not so much for the boar shank, but the tea smells divine.
You've had this before. What Miss Tay does is she slices orange fruit and adds it to the pot while the tea is seeping. And then strains and filters the whole thing.
That sounds really good for real life. All right. Yes. Morning. Busy schedule today. We have to make our way in the world. We have to make a living. That will start with tea. Yes.
And
2
we'll
cups.
return to that in a few minutes. Okay, I need to confirm how to pronounce this. Ren, right?
Ren.
Ren, where did you trance last? In a house? In a park? On a solitary hillside overlooking a bay?
Let's see. Is that park kind of like? Can I see the open sky in the park?
Easily, yes.
Okay. Does the bay have any beautiful women nearby?
Not so much. It's really more fishermen.
He rolls his eyes and enters a trance in the park.
The park is nice enough, and you are actually up a bit earlier than everyone else, though. You do get occasionally disturbed by the town watch as they patrol through. It does not interrupt your trance beyond that, and you've been here a day or two, so none of them. You had one unfortunate encounter at the first time you arrived here, but after that, they kind of word spread among the town watch to just leave you be. You're just trancing. You're not a vagrant or homeless or anything like that, or likely to cause trouble. And so you awaken to the smell of wild roses. Their vines kind of twining over each other in a mash and matted mix of green and flowering colors. A soft sound of sweet running water, kind of a gentle background sound. There's a sound of kids playing in the distance, and you can faintly catch just the slightest whiff of sea brine coming in off of the coast.
Oh, what a wonderful way to exit my trance. You know, I guess the roses, do I see them?
Oh, they are very obvious. And their interesting fact about this place is even in the midst of winter, the roses seem to bloom. Uh, but y'all are heading towards the tail end of summer now, and so the weather is warm, not overly hot, but pleasantly warm on the worst of days.
I want to have a little. I want to try to pick the best rose, and here's where my head's at. I want to see if I can best Kala's best rose. And I know I can't, but I gotta try. Like a little weird competition for myself. So may I pick the nicest, most wild, and pluck that rose, pick
Make a
that rose.
perception check for me as you scan the area for what seems to be the best rose.
Okay. And let's see. Perception. Should I had my character sheet up?
I mean, I would recommend it, but I'm not requiring it.
There you go. So my perception roll is a very solid and worthless 4.
I mean, you find a nice, very buttery-looking yellow one. You like it.
Ooh, I do.
As you go to pluck it, however, the vine refuses to break.
I go to pluck it and it won't come off.
It won't come off.
Sounds like it doesn't want to be plucked. I'll just take a look at the rose, think about it, and if it was nice outside, I slept shirtless. I don't see any reason to shirt up, so I'm just gonna toss my tunic over my shoulder, kind of sling the rest of my gear over the other shoulder, and see if I can walk around, specifically towards Glassbreaker Point, and see if I can run into Kala and tell her about this rose that I found.
All right. Kala, after breakfast, what do you do?
Well, today is Lily Day. I'd already decided
I would
that.
won.
So,
perfect.
the lily bulbs that usually take, like 45 days to go to bloom, about 15 days in have the bulbs. So, uses a couple druid crafts and harvest a few bulbs and replants the bases and heads out.
Alrighty. What means do you use to carry the flowers? Are you doing so with a basket or just a sheet of cloth?
She's got like the over aprons with her traveling clothes to kind of keep things nicer. So when she has really full stuff, she takes the corner of the over apron and ties it to her belt to kind of make a little sideways pouch, which holds like the blooms upwards and the stems kind of down at a 45-degree angle.
All right. As you head out, you being one of the outer edges of the house, Bree has a nicer place, and so it is not terribly close to the docks. You see a rather familiar shirtless elf making his way towards the town proper.
Yeah, you'll notice my skin is basically I think page boy and pigmentation. If the page boy just got slapped for being bad, so blushing, and I got my shirt slung over. I'm doing it on purpose. Kala,
And Kala is 3'8". She has bee wings, and she has roses vined on her and in her hair, but they're grown in. It's her fairy trait that she grows them.
Nice. How was the morning finding you?
Oh, pretty good. Bree finished covering up the iron, and I had some honey cakes, and I harvested the crop for today. And she kind of gestures at her apron.
Nice. And these are tulips?
Lily.
Lily. How wonderful. Different colors?
Yeah, it's really hard to get a kind of consistent strain, when you go for seeds. They kind of just throw them in categories. So I just kind of see what we get, and I plant the ones I really like back.
I found the most extraordinary rose I've seen. You have to see it. But I have something really strange happened. I couldn't pluck it from the rose bush. It would not give when I tried to pull at it. But I didn't want to try too hard because it sounds like it didn't want to be plucked. Have you ever experienced anything like that?
Well, I mean, why would a flower want to be picked? I mean,
Huh?
it's a thing we do, but it's not necessarily a thing they want.
I've never had one, try so hard not to be. Just thought
Well,
maybe if you took a look at it, you would realize how beautiful it is. Um, I don't know. I thought it was
yeah,
the best one I'd ever seen. What do you think?
sure. And then if it's really pretty, we can preserve it with illusion to show people, and we don't have to pick it.
So don't chop it off.
Well, I mean, you said it didn't want to.
I know. I tried to pull it. I was thinking if we found a knife and cut it. What do you think?
Well,
Bad idea.
haven't seen it.
Okay, let's go.
All right.
I have to speak out of character for a moment, Gyrnos, if I may.
Okay.
So every once in a while in Dungeons and Dragons or any tabletop game, something very special happens. And it's kind of the whole reason I've been passionately playing this game since I was like a teenager. So you design a character and you maybe pick little things out of your own life and insert them into the character, Maybe you tell people about it, maybe you don't. But there's images you have in your head. So I'm just gonna go ahead and tell you that my own mother in real life, her favorite rose was yellow, the yellow rose. Everybody in my family knows that about her, and a lot of my cousins have yellow roses tattooed on themselves to represent my mom. So I was emotionally affected pretty deeply when you described the butter yellow rose, and I just had to share that with y'all. Pretty spectacular.
Thank you very. Thank you very much. Buttons, Bert. Breakfast is had. The tea is black and sweet with a little orangey tones from the orange fruit. And the housekeeper sets aside the rest of the pot to make a jelly with after y'all have finished eating. Buttons. After having a full breakfast, you have a minor. You relax for a little bit, but there's a tension in the back of your head. You did not come here on your own, after all. You, rebelling against your family, sought out a task that excused traveling far from home. And so you have within your pack a letter of inspection for the ship owned by one Penora Fleabane von Amberglon, a ship known as the Storm Cloud, which should be in dock relatively soon.
Okay. Sorry, do I know this in character?
Uh, Meryl, would Would Buttons have shared why she is coming to the port with Bert?
I'd say she trusts Bert at this point.
All right.
Doesn't have-
Bert, make a history check.
Yeah, I was about to ask.
it's sorry about the weird spelling. It's Peonia.
Peonia. Okay.
It's there's a theme in all of Buttons's
I've
relatives'
noticed.
names. Yeah.
16.
16. It was a pretty low check. The Storm Cloud, it's not a uncommon name for a ship, but if there's a storm cloud that sails out of Glassbreaker Bay, it is one that is manned by one Captain Karen James. A brash and authoritarian, a very brutal but fair captain who runs a tight ship.
Captain, sorry, can I get the name again?
Karen James. Karenjames.
Okay.
And I've served under her, so I know.
Right, hang on, that was not Buttons's. I think Buttons wouldn't know that. Oh, right, that was. Sorry.
Let's
Starting
minimize
with
that
the
of
closet
character as
again.
much as we can.
Sorry, early campaign hiccups. Right, so what's the contents of the letter again?
It is basically this person is acting in my stead to perform a full inspection of this ship and report to me any issues or damages therein of.
All right. Right then. Breakfast has been had. Tea has been drunk. Well then, Bert, shall we to the docks? I mean, we can't. As fun as it would be, we can't stay around in the house tinkering all day.
No.
Meryl, could you increase the volume of your mic slightly?
Sorry, is that better?
Yes, thank you.
Yes. So,
That's about as high as the game goes.
Captain James. She's a very strong woman. How to say this? I'm familiar with her. She's kind of a mentor to me.
Oh,
Don't
marvelous.
make her mad.
Yeah, I mean, I hope we'll have a productive working relationship. If she keeps a tight ship, then this should be no problem.
Tight in some ways, loose in others.
I am not entirely sure I take your meaning.
So let me say this again. I've worked under Captain James. And he kind of does a sort of forced smile with
Yeah.
his fangs and stuff kind of out.
Yeah, she's going to just kind of like tilt her head a little bit to the side and just kind of give a, well, good. That's good.
I'll
isn't
show
it?
you around the crew's quarters. Do not wander into any sections I don't allow you to go into.
It is your
Oh.
grandmother's ship. She's just contracted a captain.
All right. Well, that sounds slightly concerning, but I suppose you do know best.
Sailors are a different bunch than maybe you are used to. Very, very, very good, very strong bunch, but they require certain things. I mean, you wouldn't go through your family's bedrooms, right?
I mean, yes. That would. Wait. You mean bedrooms in use? Oh,
Right.
no, that's No, of course not.
Yes, yes. So you see where I'm coming from, right? There
Oh,
there are
yes,
some things
yes.
that just
I,
must
I,
be kept secret, right?
I thought you meant like one of the rooms that's not in use. Oh, of
Oh,
course, I got one.
sorry, I should have specified. This is the one-to-one communication. This is not broadcast.
I assume so.
Okay.
Because
So,
I'm just
shoot.
saying.
Am I like mentally talking back, or
No.
am I just I'm just talking out loud? So I'm talking.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So let's just assume we're. So well, I'm sure it'll all be all right. Lead the way.
It'll all be all right, especially with me around.
You,
As I said, I know her. She is a former superior, so
right.
you
And
know
you
we're not peers by any means, but
and you do know the way to the docks? Yes.
yes.
Because I'm not certain that I do yet. Uh. Oh, wonderful then. Lead the way, Master
Okay.
Bert.
And I'm going to inspect his sorry, her attire. Make sure she doesn't have any like loose pockets.
Um,
Uh,
Define loose pockets.
any does she is her where a pickpocket could easily just like grab her money or something valuable? And I'm thinking that would be like a perception check.
I would say a perception check.
Okay. Um, that's 8.
Okay. Well, buttons, any easily pickable pockets?
I'm going to say so. Buttons is wearing um, some nicely tailored scale armor over some very rich looking clothing. Like the kind of clothing where it's got very nice metal fastenings and just kind of like screams at me, screams at whoever's looking, hey, this person has money or is noble or wants to look like it. Yeah, it's not quite so bad as just like having a money sack hanging on her hip, but it doesn't look particularly secure. She's not likely to lose things. Um, but yeah, if that makes sense.
All right. As y'all head out for the docks, Kala, you kind of were aware of this park before. I mean, you generally have you notice where the flowers are blooming as part of your nature. You both enter it and look up and feel a kind of not quite peace, tranquility is a good word for it, of serenity at the silver-clad statue pouring fresh water into the basin at her feet. Uh, it's getting a little on in the morning now, and birds have awoken, and you hear the distant drone of insects going about their business. There's a few kids running around in the park playing now.
5 gold pieces, I can hit one of those kids with my boomerang.
Oh, you're
What do you
seeing the
think?
flower? Or
You're right. You're right.
maybe
They'd probably
afterwards.
catch it. Okay.
But maybe also don't assault people. Like, um,
It doesn't
ma-
hurt.
maybe you can throw something they can catch instead or make a game.
The flower is over here, I think. If I can lead her to the flower.
Yeah, sure. You have a general idea of where it is. You see a buttery yellow wild rose. It's at a bent angle. It's not the most perfectly formed rose. There's a little lopside to it, but that kind of actually adds a little bit to its charm.
And Kala
Gorgeous.
starts casting minor illusion while she kind of walks around it and refines the spell. Tell me when you think it's looking right.
Okay.
Make a wisdom check for me, please.
Ooh,
Kala.
Kala.
That's a 2.
It's
Good roll.
it's definitely intended to be a flower.
Well, this is why she's casting multiple times, so she can refine it as she walks around and get it 3D.
The after about maybe 10 or so casts, you like get that flop angle right. You get the patterning of the petals correct. The leaf placement could use a little work, but it's okay.
Your presentation is good, but this is perfection. You know? See how it's kind of like lopsided a little bit and slightly off? That's what makes it beautiful. I think we should cut it. Do you have a
Kala
dagger?
just shrugs. Oh, you don't? Now she seems confused.
I don't. I don't have a dagger.
Okay.
Let me double check that. Yeah, I do have a dagger. I do. I found it. All right. Kala, you hold the top of the rose so it doesn't fall and break, and I'll slice it at its base.
Okay.
All right, you take the edge of the metal to the flower and press it into the stem, and it does not cut.
I try even harder. Sawing action.
It is like passing the dagger smoothly over silk, but no separation or cutting occurs.
Kala, do you see what I'm saying?
So Kala
Magical.
checks the rest of the branch to see if there's more flowers like that on the branch.
There's about 5 more flowers on the branch. It's a kind of a vine-like rose bush, though you have to be careful because it has wicked sharp thorns.
Maybe this was spirit protected.
Spirit protected.
Maybe we should just get it some water from the fountain and leave this one be.
He puts away his dagger. He'll go ahead and don some of his clothes real quick. He says, "When you're right, you're right. You have something to carry the water in?"
We can, my water skin, but that's not fountain water. It would probably like fountain water.
I hold up a
Just-
boot.
You could just cup some in your hands.
Of course. So stupid of me. Okay, let's go.
I mean, it's not an especially big bush.
So I'll go up to the statue and see if I can cup some water.
Easily. You notice that the water has almost a sweet smell to it as you cup it.
Do I know what would happen if I drank it?
No, I don't think you've drunk it. It's fountain water. Most people don't drink fountain water.
Well, this is from a water fountain.
I'll actually drink some and see what happens.
The water is not sugary sweet, but like it has this kind of mellow, crisp sweetness to it. It almost has a wine-like quality to it, though not alcoholic by any means. It's sweet and pleasing on the tongue.
Did Kala fly up yet?
She's been following.
You have to try this. I think the rosebush is gonna love it.
Well, let's give some to the flower first.
Yes.
Okay.
That's what we got it for.
You're right. I'll get as much as I can cupped, and I'll hurry over to the flower before it like seeps out of the cracks of my fingers.
Okay, it's not terribly far or hard to do, as you carry a handful of the water over to the flower.
Drink.
There is a soft sound as the water lands on the flower and the ground nearby, and small little beads reflect the light cast off from the sun above and give it a kind of glittering, almost jewel dabbled appearance that only enhances the beauty of the butter rose. Um, take a point of inspiration, please.
Yes. Kala too.
Yes.
So I didn't know if it would happen, Kala, but I think we made it more beautiful. So I don't know. I'm not going to say that you are not the best flower maker in all of Glassbreaker. I'm just saying you have a rival, even though it was your idea.
Well, I mean, if we both would have a lot to learn still from Emeriel. And Kala goes ahead and takes a small sip now.
Uh, the water is sweet. Like, it has an almost wine-like quality to it, crisp and strong on the tongue. Uh, Very pleasant and refreshing.
But water for sure.
Buttons, Bert. Y'all visit a different garden as y'all head towards the dock district. The Victory Garden fighting pit is empty for the most part right now. The 20 foot by 20 foot sand pit that is about maybe 5 feet lower than the ground level has a few people in it sifting through and cleaning the sand from last night's entertainment. The stands nearby are being tended to and cleaned up, and new fight bills are being written up by a gentleman nearby as y'all pass by on the way to the docks district. And I wonder why the music hasn't switched. Come on. There we go. Sorry. Don't have anyone to do this stuff for me. Doing it all on my own.
You're doing good.
uh, the
Don't say it because it's true.
the soft salty sea air that you had smelled at the edge of town has become a thick, fishy brine as you enter the dock district. Uh, it's a relatively small docks here. Not a lot of shipping is done at Port Glassbreaker. It's mostly people going out into the bay or out into the glass sea, fishing and coming back and selling their wares to merchants who travel throughout the land to sell it, or selling it themselves in town. Um, there's a Porters and Logisticians Guild outpost at the edge of the docks where the dockmaster works and resides. The Queen's Cloud Tavern and the Poor Magpie Bar, two of the more well known establishments in a quote unquote friendly rivalry, are posed at either end of the street. One preparing to kick the drunks of the night out, and the other opening and having fresh, warm scents of food being prepared inside.
No, we did just have breakfast.
What about second breakfast?
I'm a herring god, not a halfling.
So,
Who are you talking to?
Yeah. Alright,
Anyways,
so Bert, you
yeah,
said you
we
know your way
want
around
to
here?
be. They're gonna kick out the unsavory patrons in a minute. We don't want to be there when that happens. So let's try to get to the ship.
Alright, well, let's Let's pick up our feet then.
right.
Let's
Uh,
see, which ship is it? There's so many.
Stormcloud.
Right. Do they have like their names
as you
written on
head
them?
on down to the docks, the harbor master looks up at you from his kind of perch office. You're not quite sure what to call it. It's a small little offset stall from which he can see people coming and going and watch the ships, but is also has a overhang to keep the sun off of him. He he was writing in a notebook as you entered the area and stopped and looked up at you, waiting expectantly for you to approach him as you neared the docks.
Ah, yes. Good morning.
Oh,
We're
good morning.
here to perform an inspection on what was the ship name again? So pull out the
Stormcloud.
letter.
He, Bert does the one-to-one. Stormcloud.
Okay. Uh, yeah, and Buttons
Captain's
will
by
pull out
Karen James.
the letter and just kind of unroll it and just kind of helpfully hold it up.
He
Helpfully
reaches
hold it
out
up.
and takes the letter and flips open a couple pages in the book. Well, Stormcloud hasn't been back. It's 3 days out at sea now, off for a long fishing trip. But and he holds the letter up for a second, frowns, and then lifts a envelope out of the book and kind of flips it over side to side. It's like, well, I have a note that I am supposed to give this to the next person who comes and asks about the Stormbreaker. So, and he hands both the envelope and the writ back to you.
Ah, envelope. I don't know who could have. Well, I suppose it's worth checking. Thank you, Harbor Master.
Jean, uh,
Harbor
pleasure.
Master Jean. Pleasure to meet you. I have no idea how to pronounce that. How to spell
Jean.
that, I mean. I know how to pronounce it. I don't know how to spell it.
Oh,
Sorry. I also don't know how to speak, apparently. Right.
JHAN.
Okay, quick
Ah.
question. Um, is the Glass Sea like landlocked, like the Great Lakes or something like that, or is it
No.
actually like? Okay.
The Glass Sea is fairly large. It runs up and down the western edge of Eldred and extends out a good ways before it hits another landmass. It's frequented by nomadic shippers, ship oceanic nomads.
Right. So is there anywhere kind of a little bit more shelter that we can uh kind of step aside with the letter?
Make a perception
Uh,
check.
Okay. I will do that.
I was just gonna lead you to the bar that's opening.
Oh, that's also probably a good idea, but I got a 15.
15? Okay, so the nearby bar is the Poor Magpie. There are about 4 drunk people outside of it that you assume they got kicked out some point over the night and just decided to sleep there. Uh, at the other end is the Queen's Cloud Tavern, which actually has food and some entertainment as opposed to sailors getting crunk.
Yeah, I'm leading him to the Queen's Crown.
Okay, the Queen's Cloud Tavern is a
Cloud. Sorry.
pleasant uh, tavern at the far end of the Docks District. It's generally regarded as one of the nicer places in town to go and get a bite to eat if one isn't cooking for themselves or buying from the uh, the restaurant row of sorts. Uh, the inside has the scent of sage and cooking pork with maple and a sloshing of glasses as drinks are being mixed and poured. About maybe 15 people are in at the tables here. Got it out. Yes. As you enter a dwarvish woman looks up from where she is working behind the counter, gives y'all a slight wave, and then gestures to a few over the open tables.
What a lovely establishment. Right, so let's take a table and let's take a look.
Right. As you sit down and take a seat and look at the envelope, Kala, Ren, that flower is really pretty now. It still does not want to be cut, and it, the illusion pales in imitation, especially now that you've added the glittering water droplets.
Well, hey, at least if it doesn't want to be cut. And Kala's back standing now and skips a bit as she starts to head back towards the entrance of the park. At least if it doesn't want to be cut, then it's not competition for selling these 5 lilies.
You win again. And he'll trot along behind her, like
Oh, oh no,
upset.
it was very pretty. It was very pretty.
Ren, as you
What
are
good is
giving
it if I can't give it to someone?
Well, and she picks one of the slightly blue ones off of her arm. Have this one for today.
It is very nice. I'm assuming it's very nice.
yeah. I mean, Cal is very nice.
It's like blue with purple on the tips, kind of a dark blue.
He'll, tuck it behind his ear, and it says, "I guess it will suffice."
She pats the one in her hair. Now we match.
Wonderful.
Uh, Ren, as you're walking, you notice something kind of poking you a bit. From quickly changing clothes.
Poking me like underneath my clothes.
Yeah.
A bee?
Not sure. It's not buzzing or anything like that. It just feels like the edge is something pressing against your skin.
It's just something pressing against my skin. I'll take my clothes back off. Kala, something's stinging me. I think it's a bee.
Pulling the clothes off, you see fixed to the inside of the shirt a envelope, plain paper. It looks like just a small bit of wax or something had been attached to it and then attached to the inside of your shirt to hold it in place.
Oh,
Is
check
that
this
like
out.
a cleaner's note or something?
I think so. I open it and read it. I hope I don't still owe them money.
Alright. As y'all open your envelopes and read them, so I hope this letter finds you well. Thank you in advance for being where you were supposed to be when the people that I asked to deliver this delivered it. If you could please find your way to journey to the Science Institute Tower within the next 10 days, it would be greatly appreciated. You'll find a ship waiting for you when you go to the docks to travel there. Many appreciations. Agnes Ravenchild.
I do remember that Institute Tower from the Discord, but can you spell that first word again for me, please?
Cynan.
Sign in Institute Tower. And the person who signed it?
Agnes Ravenchild. Where's the NPC's name? Agenest Ravenchilde.
Got it. Ravenshield. So do Kala, does this name ring a bell?
Does it? Because
Make a history check.
Both of us?
Sure.
19.
Bert has been in the town long enough to make a history check as well.
Sorry.
History
I was
check.
thinking specifically in connection with the tower since I just got to town.
Oh,
Mhm.
Bert's been in town.
I meant
forget.
online.
Are we rolling or do we have to do it digital? this game?
Whatever you want.
Okay.
I'll stick with digital. A history check?
Buttons has not been in Port Glassbreaker long enough.
Okay.
23.
23. Bert, you do not know her personally, though you do have seen her at the distance. Agnes Ravenchild is a woman in her late 20s. She has almost violently bright red hair, long braided, and is accompanied by a raven familiar. While she is not the head person of the tower, she is one of the more outgoing of the mages that research there. Her field of study, Kala would know, is in temporal events and prophecy. She's a divination mage.
Awesome.
Hopefully she doesn't break my legs. Sorry.
I don't think that's a dry cleaner bill. Or I guess a laundry bill in this case. I don't think that's a laundry bill, Ren.
Oh, good.
Yeah, she works at and Kala vaguely gestures towards the bay. Um, the big study tower.
It is incredibly hard to not notice the 10-story tall tower constructed of stone, glass, brass, and other materials that rises up from the small island in the center of the bay. Um, it has various open windows throughout the height of it, and in and out of the day, you see birds flying in and out of the upper windows, and ships making passes back and forth between the island and the mainland.
Kala
I never noticed that tower before.
Kala flutters kind of behind your shoulder to look at the letter. Oh, hey, it's not in celestial. It must not be that formal.
I wonder what they want to see us for. I'm assuming this letter's for us. Would you go with me to check it out? It says 10 days. I don't know how prompt we need to be.
Sure.
Do you think we need the letter to, kind of like our invitation?
Couldn't hurt. I probably can't just fly back in the window I left. They probably gave the room to somebody else.
That's probably true. Okay, so I'll very carefully and neatly crumple the letter up into a ball and put it in my pocket. Well, put it in my small clothes pocket because I took off my clothes. Say, okay, I'll keep it safe. And you just let me know when we should go see this Agnes Robinchild.
You do hear some giggling in the distance.
Boomerang.
Make
Uh,
an
Little
attack roll.
urchins.
her bee fuzz stands on end a little bit and Kala buzzes. You're forgetting the clothes.
Okay, hold my boomerang. Chuck it at that little kid if he starts anything, and I'll start donning my clothes.
Okay. Buttons. Bert. The letter reads the same for you.
Okay. Could you sorry, like you
Read
don't
the
have to read
whole
the whole
damn
thing
thing
out.
all over again?
You don't have to read the whole thing out, but there's going to be a ship waiting for us. Where again? Was it
At
the
the
harbor?
port.
In the port that we're at
Okay.
right now.
Yep. Yep. And there wasn't any information about which ship it was or who had sent this letter or. Well,
I
hang on
mean,
now, how's
there's
the
a
letter
name
sound?
written on it.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I didn't write it down because I didn't know I was going to have the same letter. What's the name on it?
Agnes
Agnes.
Ravenchild.
Ravenchild. Got it. And that is not somebody that Buttons would recognize. Because she
Button
hasn't been
doesn't
in town long.
recognize the name. While Bert would not have personal interaction with her, he would have probably heard her name and seen her at a distance at least once.
Yes.
So she's a
Well,
mage, well-respected researcher, at least locally. So the
well, that
academic
sounds.
type, kind of more your circle than mine, to be honest. So cards on the table. Tower's not really my purview like the docks are, but if you're willing to have me, I'd be willing to go with you.
Of course, I
Maintain
wouldn't
protecting
dream
you
of
as
leaving you behind. Yes, let's
thank you, lady.
let's check this out immediately. I mean, unless, well, it'd be rude to not get a little bit of a drink or something, but we can maybe take it for the road.
We should probably tell the maid
All right.
if we're not gonna be back.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they just seated us. Sorry, I'm also having
No, the
slight
maid
trouble
at the
staying in
house
character.
that we're renting.
Oh, right. Good thinking, Bert. Good
Yes.
thinking. Uh,
Yes.
perhaps. How far is the dock? Is it a decent walk away?
Uh, it's about maybe a 15-minute walk. You can cross from one end of Port Glassbreaker to the other in about an hour.
Okay.
I mean, we could send a letter.
Yeah, I was going to say let's. And she's
Or
going
message,
to.
rather.
She doesn't have supplies for writing a letter. Dang it. All right. Let's see. You don't happen to have any paper on you?
1 second, hold on. I don't think so.
I'll
I
send
mean, I'm
Hermes.
sure you
Oh
can-
wait.
I'm sure you could find someplace where you could write a message for coin. There may even be services specific for this.
There
I was
are
going
and
to-
there are.
Yeah. They don't have like signet wax. Easily available.
Okay. Miss Von isn't a formal letter. It's just a, hey, thanks for taking care of us. We're going to be on our way.
Oh, I am silly. Right. 1 second, and she will take shoot. She'll just take out like a little tchotchke. I'm just saying, like she'll pick up like a pebble or something.
I was about to say a round metal object.
Sure, ball bearing. And she is going to use magical tinkering.
Okay.
So she's going to imbue the ball bearing with a recorded message.
Okay.
Message being, thank you so much for taking care of us. Bert and I will be out of town for some time. Please keep the place in order until we're back. Sounds good?
Are you gonna be paying her? That's
Oh, I don't have to pay at the end of the month.
You already gave her 10 gold for last night.
Wait, I thought
Lifestyles are daily, not monthly.
they're daily? Oh.
Yeah.
I thought they were monthly.
No.
10 gold a day is awfully high.
Yeah. That's why you got the fancy bed and the breakfast with the
What?
meat and not, bread with honey on it.
Why didn't you? Why did? I figured a house was the kind of thing that you paid for ahead of time.
Yeah, you paid
Okay.
10 gold last night.
All right. Sorry. Reevaluating things.
Why
Then.
do you think I was surprised? Like, oh,
I
you're
get
paying
it,
this
you're
much
not
and
used to
letting the
having
cat
to
sleep
spend
with
your
you.
own money. It's like, I get it, you're not used to spending your own money. Bert
Right,
silently judges you.
A noble
He
goon
sends
wrote
that with the
because
one-on-one.
Okay. Change the message then. Something along the lines of, "Thank you, so much for putting us up overnight. We due to a pressing engagement, we shan't be returning, but hope to like this is not her pausing in character. This is player not remembering wording. Hope to stay again. Thank you kindly. Buttons on Abigail. There. How's that work? And then there's got to be. Are there any people hanging around who look vaguely sober?
Yeah, the Queen's Cloud does not tolerate that level of drunkenness that the poor magpie does.
Yeah,
After about
let
maybe
me-
10 minutes, the dwarvish woman finally makes her way over to some. Well, sorry, we have a bit of an early morning. What can I get for you? Would you like, we have some kula. We have, do you want a drink or some food, some breakfast? We got some hen pies that are coming out fresh in about maybe another 5 minutes if you're willing to wait.
I mean, a hen pie sounds lovely, but I'm afraid we'll have to take it on the road with us.
No, that's the point of the hen pies, my dear.
Oh, I thought you said hen pie. Like chicken.
I mean, we can get you some hand pie.
Hen
I would
pie
like some
sound
hen
lovely.
pie, hand pie.
I don't suppose. Is there anybody on staff who might be able to run
Courier is the word you're
Yes.
looking for.
Yes, thank you, Bert.
No, but you can stop by the Scribes and Messengers Guild.
Where might that be?
About maybe 5 minutes up the road towards the edge of town. Look for the big sign with the quill and the scroll. Tell them Mira sent you.
All right, let's do that then. So yeah, we'll wait around. If Bert doesn't mind, we'll wait around for the hen pies.
I do not mind waiting around for the hen pie. Bert is just like sitting at in the chair, like just licking his lip, like chops,
Yeah.
Okay. It'll be 5 copper per pie.
And Buttons will pay.
Alright, she will take y'all's copper, and about 5 minutes later, she brings out, it's about the size of a calzone. It is not a small it is definitely about 2 to 3 pounds of food.
I should have eaten before we started playing.
I can't
This
believe
is
no
torture.
one warned you about my my sessions.
Oh my gosh.
All right.
I mean, all I've had is chocolate and marshmallows. I should have eaten too.
All right. So, anyhow, we take the hen pies and we are off.
All right, heading towards the Scribes Guild. You do see I'm assuming redressed elf at this point, and a small fairy covered in vines and blue flowers passing you by.
She attempts to be trying to sell someone a lily when you see her.
Make a
Bert's
persuasion
going
check.
to make his way in between Buttons and Kala, though I wouldn't know her name. It's sort of like give a very intimidating look.
That's a 21.
Go ahead and add 4 copper as someone buys a lily from you.
Okay. Brighten someone's day for a fifth of a wage. And she hands him the flower.
Uh, the little girl takes it and just smiles and runs off with it.
I'm waiting for the boomerang.
Sorry. So are we starting? So just Buttons and Bert know each other. We don't know. Shoot, I'm still trying to get the names right.
Kala and
Ren.
Yeah, you've seen Kala around before.
Kala is very noticeable.
Okay.
I'm pretty new to this area. I've been traveling.
in general.
I got here. I don't want to confirm how long I've been here, but I haven't been in town long, so it would be
It's been about 3 days.
reasonable if you didn't. Yeah, if it'd be reasonable if you haven't noticed me yet.
I mean, he put mine as 2, but I figure she's been like on main streets and things and kind of
Yeah.
sticks out a bit.
Kala is very noticeable and moves around a lot. So,
Okay.
Okay, so we go to or sorry, who are we on?
I believe that Bert and Buttons were heading towards the
Messengers Guild.
Yeah.
or
the
guild, whatever it's
porter,
called.
not the porter and logician. Sorry, the Scribes and Messengers Guild.
Yes.
You pass a fairy and an elf selling flowers in the streets. Moving past them, Bert kind of defensively moves himself between their group and you as y'all move on.
Oh.
The-
I say, oh, Bert, let's buy a flower. It's such a lovely day, and
Don't buy things from street vendors.
then how are they supposed to make a living? I mean, really, Bert.
You don't want to know how they really make a living. Just continue on to the Messengers Guild.
I suppose if you insist.
And don't pick up anything and put it in your mouth.
Really, Bert, I'm not a child.
The Scribes and Messengers Guild is a squat building made out of locally sourced stone with a few wooden timbers at the front. There is a hanging sign of a scroll with a quill laid across it. You open the door and go in. Kala, you've made your first sale of the day. Ren seems to be a good luck charm for you. A rabbit person and a Pawkeen walked by. You think you've seen them sometime around yesterday, but you're not sure.
Good job on the sale.
Yeah, I figure, I only brought 5 with me, but, if we're going to go on a boat, even though they've got a bit of a bulb on them, they don't last too long.
How long do they last?
Well, you can keep them nice with Druidcraft for 3 or 4 days once they're cut, but, it's not the same as them being fresh.
Makes sense.
After that, they got just a tiny bit of wilt, and they curl a bit. Not quite as pretty.
I think the flaws make them look prettier, but that's just my opinion.
Well, to a degree, but like when they curl and turn brown, they're not so much flowers anymore.
I'll think about that. How much did you make?
Oh, for copper.
4 copper?
If
So
I sell
what's-
4 more, then I break even for today.
4 more and you'll break even. So if you sell 5, you'll be making a profit.
Well, I have to go back to the house to go get some more, I only brought enough to break even for today.
Continuing on down the
Roll.
road, you pass by the Queen's Cloud, the nicer place to get a drink and a food. And then later you pass by the Poor Magpie. Uh, at the edge of the harbor or the docks district, you see the Porter and Logisticians Guild with the dockmaster standing watch.
Kala and I,
Yes.
in front of the place that sells magpies, would we have smelled the magpies, the hand pies? Would we have smelt the pies?
You would have definitely smelled the pies as Buttons and Bert walked by. But when you pass by the Queen's Cloud, you get not just the scent of like chicken hand pies. You get that warm sage and sausage smell, cooking egg, just a variety of breakfast options being prepared. Uh, though you are moving on towards the mid morning, and so you're starting to also smell breads being baked and soups being cooked, and that slight scent of sweet wine.
I'm gonna. If Kala's looking, I'll make sure she's looking, and as soon as I see she caught, my eye sidelong, I'm gonna fall down on the ground and just like mope for a little bit.
Make a um,
For
dexterity check for the drop.
Okay. Okay. Oh, okay.
Acrobatics, I guess. Yeah, acrobatics.
All right. So acrobatics is not proficient, just +3. There you go. The total roll
Hmm.
is. Sorry, I try to make it organized. All my windows here. 7.
Seven.
Jesus.
Like
All right.
you hit a little harder than you meant. And it's like,
Okay.
oh, oof, my chest. You're fine.
I'm gonna try to play into it and just like mope and kind of be in pain. Is Kala
Uh,
looking?
a few
I like to
people
fake
look.
being in pain while I'm in actual.
Actual
Uh,
pain.
After about a minute, a Jacquin, one of the horse calaking, kind of stops and
Oh,
noses at you before walking over you, just stepping over you, since you're in his way.
that's fine.
Alec giggles as she goes like this to close your eyes as she puts a lily on your chest.
I don't want more flowers, and I don't have any copper. I'm hungry.
Oh, I thought you were playing dead.
Oh,
Huh?
I'll be dead soon if I don't get some hand pie.
Is Buttons
Buttons.
still close enough to hear that?
Yeah, y'all definitely heard the commotion of like someone hitting the ground, and a few people stopping to turn.
Calla puts the
See
flower
what,
back.
see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Ear just kind of like
Obvious
flicks
ploy.
back.
Obvious ploy.
But he said
Man,
he's hungry.
that's like page 2, and he's not even doing it well.
The door opens
Oh,
to
don't
the
be
Scribes
heartless.
Guild, and a medium-sized crow kind of pokes its head out, clacks its beak, and looks like, "Arr."
Uh. Oh. Uh. Don't be heartless. And Buttons is going to just kind of hurry back, break her hand pie in half, put half of it onto like next to the flower,
Okay.
or where the flower was, and then hurry back and head over to the crow.
I'll
Okay.
open my eyes and
You see a
if I
rabbit
see
dropping
the-
food on you.
oh my gosh, thank you.
Neatly.
Thank you.
Do take care of yourself.
I'll sit up and okay, so it's been broken in half. I'll break that in half and be like, Kala.
Oh, no, I ate. I stay with someone.
You have the
Don't mind if
chicken
I do.
has the very strong scent of rosemary and garlic. The filling of it is basically the chicken has been diced, uh, roasted, and then mixed with a sort of savory potato mixture, and then a layer of cheese on top.
Yeah, I
Oh,
was
how
gonna say
wonderful.
before we leave, 1-to-1, Bert's gonna be like, "Look, man, next time you want to try to land on your back, not your front, your back. Amateur mistake."
I'll wipe the gravel from my
And then he
face and
goes,
like
and then
duly
he goes
noted.
off with buttons.
Doesn't it feel nice to do something nice?
No.
I feel better, Kala. I feel much better. Shall we continue?
Yeah. You're looking for. It doesn't say the name of the ship, or it just says there's a ship. There's a lot of ships.
So I'll bring out the little crumpled note again and unfurl it, kind of thing. Does it say the name of the ship?
Nope, no name.
No, it doesn't say any kind of name or anything like that.
It just
Should
says
we
it'll
just
be
wander
waiting for
ship
you.
to ship?
You should probably just ask someone what ship's going to the academy.
Okay. Okay.
They probably have some kind of deal or something. Because, I mean, you gotta have a ship to get there, right?
Yeah, I would imagine. Or you could swim there,
I mean, I flew. Oh,
of
wait.
course. Wait.
I took a ship there. It wasn't very fun. Oh, this is not going to be fun. Oh.
Buttons. A
It'll be fun.
large crow kind of clacks its beak at you as you return, opening the door. You see that they are wearing very long, flowing robes and holding a. It's an interesting looking device. It looks like a quarterstaff that has had maybe the top 2 feet of it cut off, and a podium or a book holder attached to the top of it.
Okay, not gonna lie, Buttons, you're gonna have to take this one. I can't be too close to avians.
I understand.
Instincts.
No. Aw. Ah, good morning.
Good morning. It says back to you in your own voice.
Okay. Would Buttons know what a kenku is?
Make a history check.
All right.
Oh wait, is it a bird pert? It's not just like a normal crow?
No, it's a bird person. It's a humanoid bird. It's a humanoid crow.
Oh, okay. That's probably not as bad for
10.
10. You've seen a variety of avianish individuals in your life, though you don't know the specific taxonomy or nature of each and every one.
All right. But so she wouldn't know about the
No.
Okay. Uh. Right. Yes. I came here. I was hoping that you might be able to deliver a message to my lodgings.
Deliver a message to my lodgings?
Oh, that is fascinating. Is that a skill?
It just kind of shrugs its shoulders and reaches behind it into the guild house and pulls out a piece of paper and a quill pen and sets it on this little carryable writing stand and then looks up at you expectantly.
Ah, quite. Thank you. And she'll just kind of write out a quick message to the effect of what I had on the magical tinkering before, which I will relinquish. Thank you for keeping me. The food was wonderful. Hope to say again. Won't be returning for the moment.
It copies out what you say. It takes the little bauble as well, uh, rolls them together, ties a little string, uh, looks up at you, and then in a kind of more you haven't been in. No. You would recognize it because you just left there. In the same voice as the tavernon, the dwarf from the tavern that you had just left. It's like, "I'll be 3 copper."
Oh, Oh yes, we were supposed to say Mira. Was it Mira sent us?
Mia sent us. Ah, that'll be 2 copper.
Right, and Buttons will curtsy and delightedly give them 5 copper.
It will take the coins, jangle them a little, and then close the door behind it as it returns to the guild house.
Pleasure meeting you. Oh dear. I do hope wasn't impolite.
Could you adjust your mic slightly, please?
Sorry, her voice is Buttons' voice is also by nature kind of a little light and breathy, so I'm trying not to be impossibly quiet.
That's fine.
You were fine.
I do hope we weren't impolite.
You were fine. I tried to keep from licking my lips. So I think we did well.
Right.
After this scene, can we get our break?
Yeah, okay.
Well then,
Actually,
Bert,
yeah,
we
I don't
have,
hate that idea.
we have a ship to find, and then I figure we can kind
To
of
the docks.
All right.
commercial break time.
Yeah, let's go ahead and take our break real quick. I need to hit the head. And then I'm probably going to, once I come to, go to the bathroom. We'll get us, hit my head. Yeah, anyway.
Oh.
We'll be back shortly. Hey, thanks everyone for tuning in for our first session of the Briar Garden campaign. Bye!
We'll be
All right,
back.
it says we'll be right
We'll
back.
be back,
I really
not
like
bye.
this background image.
Yeah. I hope I'm not playing the Pakin I guess I should have confirmed if they act like humans or do they act like they're animal.
You're doing fine. I'm going to mute us now.
Okay.
Yes, they can hear us. We are live. It's alive! Hello, everyone. We are back for the second half of the bonus roll and our inaugural. Wait, inaugural? No. Initial? No. Session 1. Premiere. I like that.
Preliminary.
Preliminary. I like that too. I like both of those words. We're back. We're playing D&D. We're playing in my homebrew world for once. Hey, no Ravnica stuff for me to work around. I'm in
Yeah.
control.
You are
I,
the god
I,
of this world.
I noticed a certain familiar family name and hair color.
Anyway, Buttons and Bert, y'all had just paid a Kinku to deliver a message. You're assuming that it's probably going to get delivered because they're a member of a guild. You did not get a name. You didn't really give them an address either, but you didn't really have an address, so I'm just going to assume that you told them where to take it.
Yeah, I thought the address part would be part
Implied.
most.
Yeah.
Once
Yeah.
we find out when the ship is, Kala probably has to do something similar. So probably fly by.
We don't. Right. So when we left off, Buttons and Bert were. So all 4 of us were heading for the ship, just from different directions.
From different
Yeah.
directions at different paces.
And
Kala
not
and
knowing.
Ren, with Ren having a chicken hand pie, it's actually really good. The savoriness of the chicken, it kind of is balanced by the starchy of the potato, and the cheese adds just a nice unifying layer. The pastry is slightly sweet and flaky.
Yeah,
Which-
so I imagine sorry.
Go ahead.
I thought you were done. I was gonna say I imagine he's using the telekinesis to kind of hold it out, and he's kind of nibbling at it like it was a small watermelon.
Yeah, I mean you can hold up to 10 pounds at once as long as it's within 5 feet of you. So, no problem there.
And then after he's done with that, he's gonna try to clean the crumbs off of his face because he is feline grooming is a big thing.
It is.
So
Even the little feral ones out of my backyard, they clean nonstop. They'll just be
Well,
constantly licking their paws.
I
It's
mean, to
weird.
be fair, it is important. It keeps their fur from getting fungi and crap in it.
Cal and Rin, You arrive at the docks as I pull up the sound thing to increase the dock volume slightly because I did not realize it was still running.
We should
Hello?
find out if there's a ship going there and when. And this name's pretty recognizable. That probably covers your fare. Ships. And then I should probably tell Bree, in case they keep me for a couple weeks again if I show up.
As you approach the docks, you see a bit of movement from the lake itself. What looks to be a medium-sized rowboat, about halfway across the distance between the island and the mainland. It had to have left about maybe an hour ago for it to have been this far already. Glassbreaker Bay is not small, y'all.
You
How about
know,
how far is it?
From the mainland, from the land to the island, it is about an hour and 45 minutes of hard rowing.
just in case that is it, because it came from the island, we should probably go tell Bree. She would be very worried if I didn't show up by dark. Or dinner. That would be worrying for her.
I have dinner. Half of it's on my face, but I have like a little bit left.
That's
You don't need dinner.
That's
We got some.
breakfast. No, I gotta tell her because I live there.
Oh,
I gotta be packing things.
okay. Right now?
Well, in case we go there.
Okay.
Yeah, I should do it right now. Kala starts flying off.
Okay.
Wait. Okay, I'll
What's
run
your
after.
flight speed again?
30. It's the same as walk
Okay.
speed.
Just checking, confirming. All right. Buttons. Bert, as y'all are heading towards the docks, you see an elf chasing after a ferry stream by y'all back towards the town.
Wait.
Oh dear, is everything quite all right?
Oh, I forgot to tell someone I might go on a boat. I gotta go tell her.
There is a
There's
slight
a
Wait.
messaging service right over here.
There's a slight screech as a hawk emits from the upper portion of the Scribes Guild and just starts flying off towards the edge of town.
I thought you were going to say it was going to go after the pixie.
No, it's a very well trained hawk.
First section, one of our party members winds up eaten by local wildlife.
No.
I mean, we're not
if we were
playing.
gonna play that, I'd be going after the hawk.
I was about to say no. Campaign 3 is going to be the Domains of Dread campaign.
Oh dear.
So I got 2 more years for that.
Oh dear.
Like,
Right.
And
Well,
clap,
tell
clap,
her,
clap.
Ren, she'll cook too much dinner. I mean, too much. You know, she always cooks a lot.
What's wrong with that? What's wrong with that?
Because I won't be there for it. Possibly.
There's a messaging service.
Oh
back
yes,
that way.
there's. We just left the.
She's gone.
Oh dear.
Shit. I'll come to Screech, and I'll just sit crisscross applesauce in front of the Harangon. I can't keep up with her. I cannot keep up with her.
You actually can if you move at full speed.
I can never catch her. She flew away, what she is wont to do.
Cheer up, I'm sure she'll come back. She does seem a little.
Flighty.
I hate to say flighty.
Nice.
Try
Lady,
not to say it.
lady, this is a grifter. We saw him trying to grift.
He's eating the sandwich you gave him, or
Right.
or he's
The
holding
head
onto
pie.
it still.
I'll finish it off. Wow.
Kala, it'll take you about maybe 20 minutes at top speed to fly back to Bree's house.
Yeah, she's taking move
Should be
action.
going.
So,
Alright.
yeah.
As you
Clearly,
Keep
had
a hand
idea.
over your coin bars.
Kala, when you arrive at House Tea Leaf, you smell a strong scent of, surprise, tea. As y'all are nearing mid morning. Tea is being brewed. Crumpets are being baked. And Bree is outside tending to her small garden plot, weeding it and watering from a water cannon. She looked at sold out already?
Oh no. My friend got a letter from the academy, and I'm not really clear if I'm supposed to go with them. I think I might be away a day or two.
Okay.
Just I wanted to let you know in case so you didn't cook too many extra portions, beyond the couple extra already.
I mean, that's no problem. I mean, I have the cold box. And
Oh, wonderful.
yeah, she actually has a box that has like a little, that ice is brought down for once a month from the Queen Sea Mountains and is sold around town and loaded into cooler boxes. That's where the term cold ice box came from, people.
Yes.
Ooh, history.
Okay, I'm gonna grab. Yeah, I'll let you know as soon as I get back.
Okay. Do you want and she whole points to the windowsill where a relatively freshly baked apple pie is cooling.
Um, maybe a tiny piece.
Okay, and she goes and she gets a handkerchief from in the house and she just wraps the whole damn pie for you.
And Kala gets one of the vases out and puts the four remaining lilies on the table for dinner and heads back out with her bag and a pie.
All right. Guys, what are y'all doing in the 40 minutes it's going to take Kala to do this?
We're gonna
Well.
slowly walk away from this obvious grifter, still trying to
Oh.
get something from us after they know that we're a mark.
And as y'all walk away, I'm gonna my shoulders will slump more. I'll bow my head even worse. Story of my life.
Make an
Nobody
empathy
wants to
roll.
be my friend. Empathy? All right, I'll do it.
Just straight charisma.
Charisma. So I'm gonna lament out loud. Story of my life. I can never maintain any friendships, new or old. And
You're an artificer. Can you conjure up a tiny violin?
oh my god, I rolled a 9.
You can
Nine.
technically do something that sounds like a tiny
I
violin.
I could. She's not going to, but she could.
There's a few heartstrings that are tugged, not like a "oh you poor dear," but it's like yeah,
Can I be
maybe
oh you poor dear anyway?
yeah. It's the southern "oh you poor dear," not the northern "oh you poor dear."
Oh, you poor dear.
Right. Well, I mean, chin up and things should lurk up for you. I'm sure things will
Yeah,
turn
we're,
Chin
around.
up.
we're work on your tumbling.
If I hear that in my head, I'll talk back to the Paquin. I wasn't trying to do anything. I was just hungry. Now I'm lonely. I don't know what to do.
I guess this would be an insight check.
Make an insight check. Rin, either make a persuasion or a deception check. Your call.
Okay.
Insight would be a 17.
All right. So my persuasion. Uh, I don't know why I didn't roll. I clearly hit the button. Do my bidding, PC. There you go.
I really need. I forgot how to get that.
18. I beat your insight. So I am 100% lonely.
Lonely, he's Mr.
Mm.
Lonely.
Okay. You beat my insight to inform me I was telling the truth when I'm
Yeah.
trying to find out if you're telling the truth.
I don't know.
Yeah, no, 100%. That is how it works.
Brilliant. Uh,
works better
Look.
with the flat DC.
Yep.
All right,
Yeah,
look.
both won. Congratulations.
Well, I don't know what to do. He assumes everybody's lying to him. So if he's like, all right, let's see. Is he,
I
you
mean,
know?
if that's your personality trait, you can still assume that and just assume he's very good.
Sure.
Well, that's what the insight check was. It's like,
Yeah.
okay. I'm starting to kind of believe that maybe he's not completely putting on an act, but all right, look, man. We've all been down. You're at the dock. What
Is this
you
the
need
start
to
of a
do
song?
is get yourself on one of those ships. Start off as anything, a deck swab, whatever. Okay? It's free board. They're gonna pay you. It's not gonna feel like much, but remember, you got a room and board and everything. You know, food, all that.
You know what?
All right.
I'm in.
Okay.
I can't
Cool.
go anywhere without my friend. My one and only friend who just left me. That fairy, that little fairy soft fly away. I can't go without her.
But you're here and she's not.
She'll be back. She'll be back 5 minutes?
Maybe about 5-10 more minutes, you would think, if she's moving full out, unless something delayed her, like waiting for someone to wrap up a pie.
Right.
Oh.
You know what?
Okay.
I'm sure she'll be back shortly. Here, Bert, let's wait with him.
Why?
Keep
Y'all
him
are in the
company.
middle of the street, so y'all do see plenty of people kind of walking around y'all.
We need to get out of the main way.
All right, let's wait
Um,
over here, out away from the middle of the street.
Make me a D4 roll, please.
Who?
Yes.
Oh dear.
Okay.
I've rolled a 1.
A 1.
One.
All right. You step off of the road, or so you don't impede traffic. You do notice a few of the town's watch are at the edge of the area, just kind of keeping an eye on you. Like, there's something weird going on. There was a commotion earlier, but no one's clearly breaking the law. Stepping onto the
Spirit.
side,
See?
you almost immediately walk into a giant barrel-chested bear.
Bear person or bear?
Like, looking up at it, you realize, oh, this is not actually a live bear. It is a giant taxidermied bear at about maybe a foot taller than Ren. And then you take in a couple more sights and realize that the bear is wearing a hat. And it has a few necklaces on it, and a few necklaces are draped from its arm, glittering pieces of seashell jewelry or mica. And then your attention floats from the very distracting bear that you did not see from the street because it's positioned in such a way as that it kind of surprises you when you walk up to the front shop to the sign that reads Grumpy Bear General Goods.
Oh, it's a novelty shop.
No, they sell general goods.
Like
General
Well,
goods.
staples and-
food stores, rations. I mean, we're by a dock. You need rations to go to sea. Fresh water,
I have rations.
baking
Do you now?
stuff. Wait,
Yes,
you
I
have
do.
rations?
I believe
See,
so.
I told you this guy was lying. He said he was dying of hunger and he has rations.
Maybe I don't. Let me look through my backpack.
Perhaps he wasn't thinking
Okay.
rationally.
First of all, come up with your backstory. Keep it straight. Okay? You're not gonna.
Are
You can't con other people if you're conning yourself. You know, like.
Are you
You're
training him
you're not the
to
mark.
fool people?
Well, he's not doing a very good job of it.
I'm not trying to fool anybody.
I guess
I didn't know
he
if I had
actually
rations.
doesn't have them.
Cal,
I
about
don't. I
this
actually don't
time,
have rations either.
Cal, about this time you would buzz by and see your friends kind of gathered around a stuffed bear.
Paula,
Oh,
they think I'm trying to grift them. Can you explain to the nice rabbit lady and the nice Paquin?
It. Oh, that's the word for scamming people, right?
It is.
Oh,
They think
yeah.
I'm scamming them. They don't understand that my heart has been ripped from my chest.
You would be dead.
It's a metaphor, Fair Paquin. A metaphor for the trials and tribulations I've gone through today.
What's
I'm not
up?
trying to grift you.
Today was a little rough with the whole the really pretty flower wouldn't come with us.
Yes. It would not let us pluck it. It would not let us cut it.
And then the
And
whole, do you have a bill? No, you don't have a bill. No, we have to go on a boat. I don't like boats.
Well, that's going to be a problem because he needs work, and I mean, boats are kind of the easiest work to be, but he doesn't want to. Damn it!
I don't know. I've been
Why
working
do
for
I
2 days,
care?
and I thought selling
Come on.
flowers worked pretty well.
But I suppose you're just a caring person.
Although I messed it all up. I'm going to be such a horrible merchant. I have to sell 7 per day to break even, not 5, because I forgot about weekends.
so how much for 7?
Y'all notice that Kala is carrying a pie that is like half her size.
Okay. So here's what you got to do. You have to sell 5 to 7 people.
5.
Let me explain. So, what you go and say, here's this nice thing, right? But I can't sell you this. This is the display model. I'll send out the real one.
Why don't you just give more
Oh.
people nice things?
Y'all smell apple pie.
Yep.
That smells really good.
Yeah. After I'm done not feeling good on the boat trip, then I can have it to feel better.
Just
Why
a
don't
real
we eat
quick
it right
aside.
now so
Have
we
you?
feel good now?
Oh, you're going on a
I hate
boat
to ask
trip?
this, but have you tried drinking?
Real quick aside. Insight
Oh,
check.
dear.
Thank you for raiding with the party. Hello everyone and welcome to the show.
Hello.
Please
All
continue.
right.
So have you tried drinking a little bit?
She gets out her water skin and she drinks some.
It's water.
Alcohol.
I don't think that's quite the kind of thing you can get
Oh.
behind.
No,
It can
I
help with
did try that.
seasickness,
Oh yeah.
or make it worse.
But
Depends
I
on the
figure
person.
once I don't have anything on my stomach after the trip, then the pie will taste even better.
Why not just eat it now and drink now? We can feel good now. I don't
Because
understand.
then all that good stuff will come back out on the boat.
Yeah.
You might.
Okay,
Wait.
would this
So
be like a medicine check for like seasickness?
Yes.
Something like, I feel like I would be like familiar with people and like
Yes.
how they would do it. So untrained medicine check.
Super high
8.
wisdom too. 8. I mean, you've seen plenty of people getting sick. You know, the colloquialism is don't go swimming after you've eaten. Stay in the center of the boat if you've just eaten. Um, don't look over at the horizon on a boat unless you want to get nauseous. Stuff like that. You don't know if it's actually true or not. Paquin
Okay, so
can't throw up. Well, I mean, actually, Paquin throw up regularly, but they do it for different reasons.
Furballs?
Yeah.
I was gonna say it's mostly when you've been eating grass.
I go to the bathroom first. Sheesh, I'm not an animal.
If it gets too bad, Ren, you can just hold the rope and I'll fly.
So
Probably
don't
be
eat.
easier is
Did
yeah.
you
So
say
don't
that you're all
eat. It's only a 2-hour trip. You'll be fine. Also, maybe
Wasn't
close
worried.
your eyes.
I'll try those things. So you said try alcohol?
a, a little bit, but if you haven't eaten, maybe that would be a bad idea.
I
Uh,
I ate honey biscuits and
I ate a hand pie.
I know.
It's all over my face also.
They are quite good, aren't they?
Disgusting.
Uh,
Wonderful. What's you guys' name?
I am the Lady Buttons von Ambergalden. I'm new in
I am the lady's assistant.
to these parts. Ah, yes, this is my man about town
Assistant.
Bert. Assistant Bert.
Do you just
Bert?
give everybody your name at the first time they ask?
Oh, of course. Why not?
Kala flies up
If
and
I
she
don't, how are
does
they supposed
kind
to
of
know
like
what to call me?
that angled bow like you would see Tinkerbell do, where like your feet kick out and you bow over. And
Yes.
Krause goes, "You may call me Kala."
See? She knows what's up. Don't give them your
Does
real
she?
name. Unless they need it.
I'll give a very exaggerated legend bow. I'll actually take the rose from my, behind my ear and throw it up as I make my bow. Ren, my lady, at your service.
Are you holding onto the rose, or are you literally tossing it into the air?
I toss it into the air.
Make a dexterity check for me.
Okay. If I roll high enough, I'd like it to kind of like do the thing where the buds kind of come down around me to make it look nice.
Okay.
Dexterity?
Just for tossing it up in the air.
Okay. Oh my. Alright. I'm just done. 9.
The flower goes up. As you kind of straighten up, there's a as it just kind of bounces off the top of your head.
Does it stay intact?
Yeah.
Okay. Catch it with my teeth.
It was a rose, or what kind of
Yes.
flower was it again?
No, it was a tulip, right?
Oh, okay.
No, that one was a
No
rose.
thorns. No
Ro-
thorns.
oh, rose. Okay,
Oh,
it was a
okay.
rose.
It's one of Kala's roses, though. Okay. Kala, do your roses normally have thorns?
Oh,
They do.
Okay.
But he would know that before he decided to catch it in his teeth if he wants to change the plan.
I'm gonna go for it, thorns and all.
All
But I want to try to bite it in a way where it won't hurt me.
Make a dexterity saving throw for me then.
Okay. I'm due for a good roll.
You are. Let's see.
Oh my God! Natural 1.
You catch it. You
First
manage
of
to
the
keep.
Still a
campaign.
4.
You catch it. You manage to keep any of the thorns from going like into your mouth. You got
Yeah.
and pull the
God.
stem out of your throat.
You know,
Is he
Rin, I had
bleeding
you
at the end?
wrong. I think maybe your calling is as the Queen's Jester.
I think you're right.
Is he bleeding any?
Bert, don't be
No, there's no
cruel.
damage.
Okay.
Insight check. Thank you for the follow.
I am so ashamed, my lady. I'll just bow my head in utter shame.
It was a very good attempt.
Was it? At what?
Was it?
Your
He's
throat
doing
hurts a
his
little.
best.
Look, have you seen people do, shoot, what's it called? The knife game?
Right.
5-finger fillet.
Yeah, that's impressive.
Sure.
What he did? No. No.
I don't think I've seen that game, but it doesn't sound particularly pleasant.
It's not. Well, it's fun as long as you're not the one playing it.
Oh, gee.
It's fun to watch.
McJax, thanks for the follow.
I can't because I don't have fingers. Which actually is a good excuse sometimes, because
Yeah, it would make it easier to just.
Well, I guess we better check on the boat timing. I did spend a bit of time already. They should be getting close
Right,
if
we need
that's
to
it.
check on that boat.
Wait, are y'all going to a boat too?
Yes, we're at the docks. We're going on a boat. What do you think we were here for?
Maybe you were
Flowers?
coming off a boat.
I thought
Maybe you
came
were
here
just
I
for
taking a
guess
stroll
that's-
along the
breakfast.
docks.
I thought you came for breakfast.
Yeah. What do you have to say about that?
My lady, I think we need to be going.
Uh, uh, right. Well, I hope you do have a lovely afternoon, morning. Oh
Yes.
dear.
We
Y'all are
need to
getting
find the
towards
harbor.
the noon.
Yeah, we need to find that harbor master to figure out which boat's going to take us to the Tower Academy.
Kala, save us. I've ruined this entire interaction with my foolery.
Please
Well,
don't
it'd be
be so
really
hard on
awkward if
yourself.
we end up on the same
Oh.
boat then. Oh well. Let's go see how close that rowboat's getting.
Okay.
Y'all all immediately
All
set
right.
off in the exact same direction.
Of course.
I-
Of course.
How awkward.
He goes, yeah. Well, first off, we need to find the harbor master because we don't know what boat we're looking for. So we
I
need
think
to
they're
ask
going to the
harbor
harbor master, and maybe we're checking on the progress of the rowboat first.
All right, you see that the rowboat has pulled up to the docks just past the harbor master. A silent standing figure just kind of idling around on the boat. You can't really see its face due to the hood that it's pulled up. You realize whoever is under there must be pretty warm. It is a sunny and mildly warm day as y'all head towards the tail end of summer. It's not like, sweltering heat, especially now. But yeah, if y'all had been here 2 weeks ago, it probably would have been super humid and unpleasant.
Yeah, I hate
Still,
humid and unpleasant.
Still, as y'all approach the harbor, the harbor master Jean looks up from his little space that he is his station. Closes his book again. Looks to Buttons. I'm afraid your ship still hasn't come in. You
Yes. No worries. We had a different ship as well that we need to look up. Oh, Bert, did you have the letter?
No. You
Right,
have the
I must
letter.
have had it. Drat. And she's just kind of digging through her pockets.
You
and
find like
pouch.
14 springs, like 2 little balls of lint, 3 ball bearings, and then the letter.
Hey.
Button strikes me as the person that just puts random stuff in her pockets.
You never know when it might come in useful.
Sorry,
I
we're
did not mean
actually
to
agreed on
do
that.
that in the character voice.
No,
Yeah,
Bert's totally on board with that. You never know what you could use as a distraction.
exactly. So yes. Here. What was that? What was the name of the other ship?
We
You
don't
didn't
have
have a
one.
name on
We
the
don't
ship.
have it.
You had
Right. Is it
an Agnes Ravenschild.
Yeah, we're looking for the boat.
Raven's Child? I wrote that down wrong
Yeah.
the first time.
We're looking for the boat going to the tower.
Yes, to the
A boat.
tower.
Not necessarily the boat, but a
I
boat
think you
going
got
to the
muted
tower.
again.
Oh, sorry.
Right.
Ravenchilde.
Okay, I
Ravenschild.
didn't have it right the first time then.
Ravenchild. I keep on putting an S in there, and I'm going to slap myself every time I do that from now on.
So good. Right, we've been told that there will be a boat there.
We had, and he gestures to the silent figure that's just kind of haunting the docks. That all the fishermen are like, they're walking down towards their ship or coming back from their ship, see the figure, and then move to the other side of the docks to avoid. Because it's just standing still on a boat looking out.
Hi, are you going to the tower?
Uh,
To that figure. as we were going to the boat.
There's no there's no response. You kind of flit over to it, and it's just it looks like a mannequin of sorts under the robes.
Oh. I'll poke it.
Are there any other boats going to the academy?
It doesn't really respond to the poking.
Let's see. Kala, you ever seen anything like this?
Would that be a history check?
Yeah, make a history check. Rin, you would notice that the robes are
7.
voluminous enough to cover most of it, but they don't go all the way to the ground, and that it has no feet, that it's actually a part of the boat. What was your history check?
Only a 7.
7? I mean, like, you've seen boatmen before, but most of them have legs and are people. Jen looks over at Buttons and Burns like, I mean, did you want me to see if I could charter a boat for you?
No.
Is that the only boat going to the academy?
I mean, I could
Oh.
get that. I don't know where that boat is
I'm-
going. The gentleman hasn't come and talked to me. And
I'm
Oh.
sure that won't be necessary. Thank you so much. But come along. We're
But we don't know where he's going.
Jen kind of like
Oh.
gives y'all a little bit of a wave and goes back to his work of tracking who comes in and off of the boats. He seems to know most of the fisher folk, and he just waves at them or they wave at him as they go by.
So, would I have any knowledge of this phenomena?
Make a history check.
Phenomenon.
It's going to be a slightly higher DC since we've already had one person make a check on it.
Well, yeah, but I've been around boats.
Yeah.
I don't know if that... 14, 15, 16, 17?
17? I mean, it's a large enough boat for, moving across the bay, but it's definitely not a boat that you would take out onto the open ocean. You get the impression from the figure who you have not examined that he is waiting for someone to come.
So it's a living entity.
You're not sure. It did not react when you poked it. It looks like it is physically a part of the boat, and that it just has a robe over it to make it less immediately alarming to people.
Guess if we get on the wrong boat, we can just fly away.
Say that part again?
I
Carla?
guess if we get on the wrong boat, we can just fly away. Oh. Oh wait, that
could you-
doesn't work for you. Oh no.
It doesn't. Can you carry me?
No.
Oh, you don't know unless you try. I don't
way too big.
know. It's true.
Hello again.
Bert walks up. I'm
just see
assuming
you all
Buttons
again.
in tow.
Bert,
Yes.
you are a seafaring person. What is this?
I would say while the two of them are talking, Buttons is just going to walk up to it and start examining it.
All right. Make
And she is going to.
Oh, go ahead.
And she's going to, as she's just kind of pulling out her tools, cast Detect Magic.
All right. Just to confirm, y'all are getting on the boat with Ren?
I don't think anyone's gotten on the boat yet.
I mean, if Ren is poking the thing, he has to be on the boat.
Oh.
Okay.
Because
I just flew around it.
Yeah.
Onto the boat.
I don't mind being on the boat
All right.
if it was necessary to poke it.
As soon as Ren and Buttons are both on the boat, whether or not Bert is on there as well, the figure
no.
springs to life. The pole in its hand pressing against the dock and pushing itself off. Bert, were you on the boat?
Okay, in that case, I don't think I need to cast Detect Magic if it immediately animates.
Yeah.
I
It's
leap onto the boat. Do
Make
I
a
have to make
dexterity check.
for that? What about
Acrobatics,
an
actually.
acrobatics?
Yeah.
Okay.
Super
That
easy
would
check.
be a 16.
16? Yeah, no problem. You just like whoop and hop in. Buttons, make an arcana check for me as you're examining this thing.
Ooh, that is a natural 1.
It looks like a
wow.
mannequin under the robes.
Right.
Y'all have about, at the speed it's going as it pushes off of the
Right.
harbor and starts towards the tower, about maybe an hour and 40 minutes.
Kala packs the pie well in her bag and
I
sighs and
suppose.
goes to the front of the boat.
Oh,
Oh,
no. Okay. Keep movement to a minimum. Remember, we need to keep the boat balanced, otherwise we'll capsize.
I weigh like half of what you do.
Doesn't matter. It's about the distribution, not the amount.
I'm gonna be here because there's more of an angle of not boat to boat if I get sick.
Oh,
Okay.
Hakeem said to close your eyes, Kala. Close your eyes. It'll make you feel better? I
Maybe?
I don't know.
I was not a ship's doctor.
I mean, I'm not particularly trained in medicine myself. Let's see. Let's see.
Callum, make
May
a
I make a
constitution
medicine
Something
check?
that might help.
Sure, go ahead.
Constitution check or save?
Save.
Okay.
Oh, I rolled on the wrong thing, but 15.
I rolled
You're fine.
literally a 1
Wait,
on a
do
medicine check.
we all roll a con save?
No. She's a flower. Can she get sick? You're not sure. There's questions.
Someone boil some water.
He
Oh,
starts
We are
ripping
not
up sheets.
setting a fire on a wooden boat.
The humidity and the
Right.
brininess of the atmosphere increases as y'all leave the harbor, and unless there is something that y'all want to particularly cover on the trip, the automaton, whatever it is, rows y'all to the Sinan Institute Tower.
I do have one thing,
Aska, okay?
which is there any kind of visible wear or damage, or like again, just like wear and tear to the boat or the automaton?
Make a perception check. Actually, no, investigation as you're searching it and examining it.
Okay. 23.
23. The boat seems fairly well maintained. You don't notice any dry patches or patches that are lacking in wax or tending. The automaton has a robe over it, so unless you remove that robe, you can't get a good look at it. But from its arms and the quote unquote head that are visible, it seems fairly well taken care of. Are you going to
Alright.
disrobe the dummy?
Not unless there's any like if it's not like visibly malfunctioning, she's just not going to mess with it while it's in operation.
No, it seems fine. It's not like moving at superhuman pace. You're
She
fairly
starts
sure.
fidgeting with a piece of wire.
Okay.
It's nothing to
It's really
do.
ironic because I hate water, but I love fish.
Yeah, she's just kind of Buttons is fidgeting with a little piece of wire and just kind of messing with it
You may want to put the
tools to no
wire
real effect.
in salt water.
Say it
Rust,
again?
you may
Oh, I can
not
I
want
can
the
mend it. I
wire
can mend
out.
it.
Okay.
All right. It takes about an hour before y'all arrive at the smallish, and I say smallish because it's compared to the mainland. You know, in reality, the island itself is maybe about a quarter mile squared. large enough to hold the base of the tower as well as a number of small buildings on the ground level, including a small dock in which the boatman rows y'all into and then comes to a stop immediately, hooking the pole that it's holding into a little spot on the dock to hold it in place. Uh, Standing at the dock as you approach is a figure in kind of a blue and silver robes, long hair, braided at the back, down her back with a few ribbons of silver and blue mixed in. A raven perched on her shoulder. With bright red hair and green eyes, the figure at the dock looks at you. She's a human woman in maybe her late 20s, maybe 29, almost 30, with a sprinkle of freckles across her the bridge of her nose. Welcome to the Sinan Institute's island. Uh, Thank you for responding when expected. My name is Agnes Ravenchild, and according to the stars and fate, you will be my best hope of saving the instructor here. Hi.
Saving
Him?
oh my.
Who?
I look at Rin.
I do not.
Hi again.
Oh, yes, you were. Oh, I cannot remember your number. I'm sorry. The Flower Child, yes? Uh, we probably should tell someone about that, and it's fine. Um,
I live in town. And she points at the town.
yes, hi.
You feel better, Kala.
I feel a lot better now that it's not moving so much anymore. I wish the rest of it would stop moving, but most of it stopped moving.
Time for apple pie.
Agnes kind of just looks at you all. It's like, please, and she gestures to one of the many doorways around the base of the tower. I have a office only a few floors up. If you do not mind, I
Oh
would
yes,
like to
let's.
discuss a few things with you.
This
And
sounds
I have a
terribly,
pie.
terribly
Can we have
serious.
can we have the pie at the office?
I'm fine with that.
It's very good pie.
I am fine with that. I tend to not eat too many sweets, but you are free to. And she turns towards the tower and starts leading you. The raven flies from her shoulder, lands on the doorknob, and kind of bounces on it a bit until the latch gives and opens for her. Uh, uh, Thank you. And the bird just hops back on her shoulder as she leads y'all up about 4 flights of stairs to a small office down one of the side hallways that has a circular glyph on it, with 4 arrows pointing inward and 4 arrows pointing outward at differing angles. So imagine a compass rose and then an inverted compass rose rotated 45 degrees. She opens the door, walks in, and you see it's a nice office. There's a writing desk, a cot in one corner, a bird stand, a astrolabe on the desk, and a number of little accoutrements. Hanging on the wall is what looks like a painting of a cityscape, though one you do not recognize. Uh, the window behind her is sealed stonework and rose-colored glass. And she moves behind her desk. It's like, please, and gestures to a few chairs that are scattered throughout the room. And it's like, I do not have a serving set. I generally take my meals in the mess with the other researchers. But hello, my name is Agnes Revenchild, and my reason for calling you here is we have well, I am what is called a diviner. I touch the fates and the mysteries. I talk to the small gods and the spirits and listen to the stars and the song of the world and use that to figure out you understand what divination is what I am trying to confirm. Yes?
Oh, I'm familiar with the theory, if not the practice.
Kala stops dividing the pie into four big chunks and putting them on the towel wrapping long enough to nod, and then starts passing them out.
You notice that on the pie there is a cutout of a fairy that had been put on top of there in puff pastry.
Dibs on the fairy.
Aw.
It's in the exact center of the pie.
Dibs on the fairy.
Uh,
That makes a
Ag-
bit of a
go ahead.
mathematical problem, then.
Kala had already cut it, so
Agnes is like, so, while I am a researcher here, that is not quite. I'm sorry, I'm a little flustered. Generally, I am not the one that deals with this. Um, the person who I learned from, I hesitate to use the word master because there are connotations to that I'm not comfortable with or a fan of. But the instructor that I generally work with has. I will cover what happens when you cast mending on a pie later.
Okay.
Um,
Not gonna do it in character, but I'm curious.
if you want to do it in character, I would have to cover it now.
and you would have to have someone else's piece of pie.
You
Or
cut
break
4
yours.
pieces?
Yeah, she just hands everyone a
Yeah,
quarter
she
of a
just quarters
pie
it.
on one of the wrap towels.
It is the apple pie. It has the faint scent of rosewater mixed in with it. You'd think that whoever cooked it mixed the apple and the cinnamon and rosewater with rose hips before setting it to bake.
I'll break mine in half for Agnes since she didn't get a slice.
It's I, it's all right, thank you. I appreciate that. I tend to prefer chocolatey drinks or a anyway. Uh,
I promise you, I know you said you don't partake of sweets too often, but and I'll look up over my eyes, like look up
Oh,
at her and try to give her the amber like doughy eyes. I promise it's very sweet and delicious.
make a persuasion roll with advantage.
Can do. Persuasion?
Yep,
is the rose back in his hair?
I assume so.
Yes, it is. So let me see here. My persuasion with advantage, the best roll was 15.
15.
And I rolled another natural one on that roll, too. That's
No,
weird.
good thing you had advantage.
I
She
know.
looks at you. Your eyes are familiar. And she takes the pie and she takes a little nibble of it. Anyway, uh, the colleague that I work with has departed to a. Do you? I'm assuming from, and she gestures to Kala and Ren that at least some of you are familiar with the Green Echo. We have, for the most part, a friendly relationship with the inhabitants of there, and my colleague departed for the Green Echo 4 days ago to acquire some rare components that are not immediately available through mundane means. He was supposed to return yesterday, and our missives and attempts to locate him have not uh, borne fruit. And while I would be normally willing to journey there myself, there are many things that are um, being dealt with at the institute, and I cannot leave our department entirely unstaffed. And so I she gestures to a number of implements in the area. What looks like a carved set of bones, a pot of tea, a small board with numbers and letters on it, and a few other items. It's like, I have consulted various means, and Edisei was instructed that the best means to recover my associate was to contact, and she gestures to Ren and to Buttons. Apparently, you two, by leaving or having notes delivered to a specific place. It, it is one of those if something happens, then I do this. If something doesn't happen, I do this. I give you the thing once the thing has happened. Situations. I'm sorry. Divination, sometimes the reason for something is preceded or followed by the event.
That sounds
If
terribly
she's
twisty.
done talking, can I do an insight check?
Sure, make an insight check.
Okay, that's 18, and I'm kind of trying to figure out if she's like specifically withholding information.
Oh, yes, she is 100% not telling you stuff, but you don't feel that she's not telling you stuff to hide it from you as much as she doesn't know if you will understand the depths of it. You get the impression that she's trying to dumb this down a bit.
Okay. But not like trying to withhold information.
It's like,
Okay.
so, if I provide a means to travel to the Green Echo, what would you require in recompense for retrieving my colleague? I'm sorry, I don't normally do this. So, do I pay you now or?
Yes.
I was gonna say, if you don't mind a slight
Do I
bit
need
of
to roll a
metagaming,
deception on that?
I'm just gonna like
Okay.
Buttons is like about to open up her mouth to say something that, by Bert's status, is probably horribly ill-advised.
That would be a 20 deception. Yes, you absolutely pay us fully up front.
Okay. I will talk to the bursars and have a writ payment drawn up for you to
But
take
I mean,
to
it's
the Bankers Guild.
Well, the
Bert, are
cost
you
of
sure?
supplies, possibly travel. There's a lot of upfront expense. I'm saying this to um, Buttons.
Oh, good. I'm glad that he knows about this kind of stuff because I wasn't sure if we brought back a person, if we were supposed to take a person or what. And that just seems like it would be complicated.
No, um, no, we're supposed to bring back at least one more person than we left with.
Preferably, yes. If you could bring him back as well as the material goods that he are the exotic components that he had gone to retrieve. We are working on a few very time-sensitive experiments, and we would like to proceed on those as soon as possible. I'm sorry. As I said,
Oh,
I am an academic. I am not
understood.
charged with this for a reason.
Couple of questions. So first of all, just to confirm, was anybody else with him,
Oh,
or did he go alone? Or this person? Sorry, I don't know if
oh,
we got a gender. Sorry.
Director Attenborough.
Director Attenborough. Did this person
Attenborough.
go alone?
Atnbro.
Buttons, are you from beyond the Green Veil?
Well, I mean, Gyrnos, if I'm getting the geography wrong, well, yes, I'm from over in Ambergauden.
Ambergaden
Uh,
is located in the northeastern. It is one of the few settlements that was um, established about 200 years ago and is one of the borders with the northern tundra.
But your ancestors are from the Feywild, as are mine.
I mean, I suppose several generations back, but I mean, we've been pillars of the realm and all that for a good, well, for a century or two thereabouts.
About 20 generations.
Which is like
I
10
don't think
years in
quite
rabbit time.
that far.
That was a joke.
Burn the bunny.
Oh, wow, I've been here 3 or 4 weeks. That's a long time.
And before that, you were in the Feywild as well?
The specimen prior to this was in study here before I am
Oh,
told
yes.
disappearing. I mean, it happens. It's fine.
The other thing I need is a list of all the materials that we're looking for.
Oh, I can get you that as well. Director Attenborough was. Oh, right. Yes, you had a question. He was accompanied by 2 guards. If you could rescue them as well, or at least find out what happened to them all, it would be much appreciated, and I'm sure the families would like to know. Oh, one second.
Okay,
And she kind of stops and looks off into the distance. Her eyes gain a little glassy.
Are you okay, Agnes? May I
She
call you
holds up a
Agnes?
finger. Yeah, okay, sorry. Yes, I was being informed by one of the researchers here that the crossing is just about ready.
Okay, and the
How do
goal.
we bring it back? Does it stay open?
Uh, the crossing requires a decent amount of effort to keep active. We will keep it open for 12 hours. After that, we will open it for 2 hours a day at the noon bell, if that is understandable to you. Keep in mind, in the green reflection, not everything works at the same pace, so I would recommend returning as quick as you can. Anyway, we were talking like costs, I believe. You had a number of concerns. Please continue.
Yes. Okay, out of character, I have no idea how much to ask for.
I mean, out of character, they just said they're going to send for a check, so they already have an amount in mind.
Well, she
Okay,
said
cool.
she's going to have a check written for y'all.
Yeah.
We need to give him a number, I think, because she doesn't know, and out of character, I don't know.
And in character, Buttons doesn't know.
So,
Ah,
I mean,
sure,
it is your life that
could
you're
I do
being
like
asked
an
to risk,
intelligence
so-
check
Sure.
to figure out what
how
a
do you phrase
general?
this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll just say as a general intelligence, 16 to kind of figure out what a fair market value of this service would be.
I mean, there generally things like this, bounties and such, are either directly proportionate to the importance of the person being rescued, or to the amount of danger being faced. Since she doesn't know the danger that y'all are going to face, or what y'all may need or want, and this is not something that she is trained for, you get the impression that this is very much I don't know how to solve this problem. I'm giving you money to solve this problem for me, and is willing to probably pay what you ask, as long as what you ask seems reasonable or within her budget range.
Right.
I
So
would like to tell Miss Agnes, and I know you're negotiating with her, Tux. Sorry, Bert. I will do it on one of 3 conditions.
Okay.
Number 1, and it's a choice. It's an or thing, not an and thing.
Okay.
You upgrade my loot. You upgrade my arcane focus, and it'll pull out a little cheap, nasty music box.
Uh,
Or you give me one kiss. Your choice, my lady.
It, I. She looks at
You
the
see my
raven,
reservations.
and then back. We can definitely outfit you with some gear if you need. I mean, anything we give you increases the likelihood of your success, I would assume, and so, I mean, we will still deduct that from your total reward, but
Loot,
Okay.
arcane focus, kiss. On the lips.
she
This is
just,
just for me. Y'all can take the check if you want.
I'm not kissing you, dude.
Don't want you to.
she
Or
just,
the raven.
like, takes a awkward bite of the pie. It's like, okay, so the magic I use, basic, get, I am caught. She's very flustered and red in the face as she turns around, looks out the window, takes a deep breath. All right. So, I would not have contacted you if the magic did not say that you were who we needed for this and that you were likely to accept. So, please pardon me as I assumed that you would be willing to accept, and whatever funds within reason you feel you need for this, we will be happy to provide.
We
If you,
accept. We accept.
I
Yes?
again,
Are we
Okay.
all in agreement?
It just to specify, this is out of character. That 16 is a DM. I have no idea. Give me a number, please.
I mean, I can't
Can
tell
I
you
have a
how.
cold box?
Hmm?
Can I have a cold box?
Certainly.
The kind that you don't have to get ice for.
Oh,
Ooh.
That
uh,
is.
it is. I think we can pull one out. Yes. We generally use those for uh storage.
Because
Of
I don't know if there's any ice where we're going.
you need
Oh,
it
for the.
now. Okay.
Oh, it's okay if it's not now, but it would be better if it's now.
I will have one of the. We generally use those for storage of perishable components, but yes, I will have one cleared out. Uh, Tux, I can't give you a like. You can ask for X, Y, or Z amount because this is a situation that she is unfamiliar with. And so it really comes down to what your character is willing to risk their life for.
500.
That total or individually?
Say that seems. I total, definitely total. Uh,
I can make
500
that work.
kisses? Deal.
no gold.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh.
Very well. 500 gold coins. An upgraded loot and arcane
Yes.
focus. A one of our chests of preservation. Uh, and 500 gold. Is there any additional? Like she's looking.
She's like really desperate.
She's wide-eyed, but she is also like, "Oh, thank God," and is writing stuff down as she is talking to y'all.
I terribly hate to be in an imposition, but I don't suppose you have. Well, I mean, this is. Um, you don't happen to have alchemist supplies that I might be able to
Uh,
borrow the use of at some point?
supplies or a laboratory?
Uh, well, laboratory, I suppose. I do apologize. I had the most lovely setup at home, but had to leave it there. You see.
I would not be terribly surprised. Laboratories are very large and complicated and hard to move. We have a alchemist travel pack that I can give you. It's not.
Oh,
It's
Oh,
suitable for like small things, but you would not be able to do anything large or long term with it. And she goes over to
Please, that's more than generous. Thank you so much.
the little storage cabinet, opens it up, and pulls out what looks like a leather satchel. It's dark leather that has been stained, and branded on the front is sort of a what looks like a circle with an eye within it. That she hands over to you.
Oh, thank you. And it's so smartly put together. Thank you so much. I'll be sure to return it.
So I have a
Thank you.
question. Out of character.
Mhm.
Is this an academy or just like a research?
This is a bit of both. This is the Sinan Institute is devoted to magical research and expanding the understanding of how magic works within the world and the universe.
Okay.
So it is a research station. It is a academy. It is a training grounds.
Okay, so since I negotiated the 500 for everybody,
Mhm.
and everybody else is getting an individual one, I want my own individual one.
Okay.
Free
What do you need?
admission and tuition.
I'm sorry. What?
Free admission and tuition
To
for myself.
I mean,
Oh, Bert, I
we
didn't know
can
you wanted
get you
to
research
improve
materials,
yourself.
but you would need to undergo an admission test. There is no cost to study, but there are obligations that one must undertake and uh, tests that one must pass. We don't waste our
There's
time.
no cost.
Well, there is no financial cost. There is the obligations. One has a duty to fulfill their obligations, and when they begin training at the Senate Institute, you are expected to fulfill certain agreements, one of which is a period of service to Queen. If you just want
Do
access to
you
research
do?
materials, I can definitely give you library access.
Okay, we'll put a pin on the admission and tuition. Let's go with that one. Free access to the
Most certainly.
library and research of materials.
Oh, that sounds fun.
Certainly, and she writes that down on a note. Okay, so 500 gold pieces to be distributed to you. The upgraded loot and focus may take a little bit of time. Sorry. You
I
have.
guess I'll
She
take an IOU.
she looks at buttons. Uh, that is my personal alchemy kit. I would like it back when you
Oh, I will
can, but
take the utmost care of it.
I will procure a replacement for you. I will have access permissions drawn up for you, and um, I will get a one of our boxes of preservation emptied out and cleaned. I'm assuming you would rather it cleaned. Uh, yes. Anyway, all right. And she finishes filling out the note and hands it to the Raven, which then kind of it doesn't so much disappear as it becomes translucent and flies through the door. It's like,
Oh,
yes.
I said, oh,
Oh, right. So
because that was magical.
you'll find many
Yeah, it
magical
must be
things
so
here.
that the hawks don't try to attack it.
I would feel bad for the Hawks if they did. No. You do not leave your familiar unprotected. You work enchantments into them to ensure their longevity. They are partners in an investment, not just something to be called out and thrown into dangerous situations with no care.
Familiars?
I understand that, and I look at buttons.
Meanwhile, Buttons is just kind of looking interestedly after it and taking notes.
Do we
And
have
just
any
misses
sort
that
of
exchange
maps or
entirely.
anything of the area we're going to?
So,
Anything at all?
the where the director was going is not into a particular domain. It is simply the Feywild echo of um, Glassbreaker Bay. Uh, in previous excursions, we have seen the tower as a manifestation, as well as a small, not to say village, but a collection of huts and stuff that are occupied by relatively um, welcoming natives to the Green Echo. Uh, from here, generally, expeditions will proceed out into either one of the nearby domains of one of the local archfey or into the Scarlet Screen. Either
The
way.
Archfey.
Hmm? Say that again, please?
The Archfey.
Yes, there are a number of archfey that have minor domains throughout the Scottish folk. Um, but entering into their individual domains is generally not appreciated or unless invited or
Yeah.
yeah. So I do not believe that the director was going into one of those domains. He was just to go
Oh,
to
good.
the village and then have one of our contacts there help him in the acquiring of various um, exotic components. The list of which, and she flips through some papers and it's like, he was to procure the love of a dewdrop.
The
Let's
what
see,
of a dewdrop?
the love.
The love.
Yes, the okay. So here things are solid, and she wraps her knuckles on the desk. In the green, things are more ephemeral, and that which is conceptual can be obtained as a item. Uh, for example, one could, with the permission of their possessor, possess the heart of a person without,
I see.
cutting out their
I'm
actual
starting to
heart.
understand Pepe Le
The-
Pew over here.
I do not understand. Anyway,
Forget
the
about
love
it.
of a dewdrop, uh,
Local town hero.
Yeah.
canon. The love of a dewdrop. They needed and she looks over. So we got that. We were replacing that. Uh, the desire of the wind, and this one is a little. We had a volunteer. I want to make it clear. Um, the laughter of a heartbroken woman.
You tried to acquire the laughter
Oh,
of
the
a
poor
heartbroken
dear.
woman?
No, we can acquire the laughter of a heartbroken woman. One of the guards volunteered to give her laughter.
No, they may or may not have acquired that yet, depending on what state we find them in, and where, and
Yes.
when.
Yeah.
Sorry, what was the second one again?
The desire of the wind.
desire.
Desire of the Wind. Thank you.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh,
Laughter of a
then,
heartbroken woman.
in case he hasn't fetched it, this should be pretty cheap. You should probably also send us a flute.
A flute?
Flute.
Flute. Like,
Yes.
like,
Like a wind instrument.
okay.
Sure, music.
She kind of frowns a little.
Because it makes them happy.
Oh, okay, I understand. And she goes over to her curio cabinet and she gets what looks like a flute that has been constructed out of a thigh bone. Again, I would appreciate these being returned. They are personal reminders of home.
Oh well, you'll probably need it back anyway, because it'll be your specimen potentially, or at least you have to extract it.
She nods a little and holds out the flute. It's like, so, I do not know if I will be able to get everything ready in time. The veil will be sundered in about Oh, it's probably not even a full mark on the candle at this point. They have been working to uh, build up enough charge to keep it open for a long period of time. Is there anything else that you require? No? Okay, excellent.
Oh.
And she goes to the door and holds it open.
Will one of y'all drag me out of the room?
Okay. And I grab him by
Sure.
the scruff of the neck, and I mean, I'm just
Like a
dragged.
cat?
Yeah.
Yep.
I'll just be pulled.
Make
And
a
you're
strength
you're
check.
being pulled like face down, like
Okay.
it's not, and I'm not being gentle.
Fine.
That's way more efficient than what I normally do.
Make a
Paula,
strength
don't
check.
say that. You can carry heavy things if you put your mind to it.
I mean, usually
Dude,
I
I'm
just
sure
do
she can.
I just do an illusion of a woman going around a corner or something. I would go that direction.
Do you need a strength or athletics check or anything?
Just strength.
Okay. That would be a 19.
19? Yeah, no, you're being dragged across the floor by a cat. You're having to do that, like, pull, but
Yeah.
you do get him across the floor. The force flare, Agnes watches y'all, and then she's like,
She's just like, oh.
I will let you go first. I do not want anything falling on me from above.
I'd like to note that you are small and he is medium, also. So.
Yeah, it's not easy.
Yeah.
I'll
but-
kind of help. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
he-
Like, if I get stuck on a corner, I'll push myself off. And
Nope.
Nope.
Nope. If you're around a corner, he's banging your head against the corner. Like, oh,
Fine.
sorry. Oh, sorry. Oh, sorry. He's not being gentle.
So,
All right, fine.
getting across the floor is no problem, but getting down the stairs, there's some
It's fun.
bumps. At some point, make a dexterity, dexterity saving throw for me, Ren, as the cat
my
pulls you over
God.
the edge of the stairs and you immediately feel the effects of gravity.
Just let me fall.
Okay.
Or just let me fall.
Well,
9. I don't
9.
know. Did
All
I
right.
fall?
Yeah, you fall as he pulls you
I
over
told
the edge.
you.
You
Land
tip
on your back.
and you just start
Okay.
sliding and rolling. Fortunately, the tower is curved, so you only go about 10 feet before you kind of hit a wall.
Can I try to land the way he told me to land?
Yeah, sure. Make
Okay.
a acrobatics check.
I'll use inspiration.
Okay.
Acrobatics.
Yep.
So I'll land the way Bert taught me if I can. Let me see what my roll is. 20.
20. You manage to land and you take 3 points of bludgeoning damage from smacking into the wall from the fall. But
Okay.
you manage to land in a kind of sitting position as opposed to, face down or face into the wall.
Do they notice that I took damage? Or you know what I mean? Like that I got
It's
slightly...
pretty obvious from the sound of your head hitting the back of the wall.
Okay.
Or the back of your head
Okay.
hitting the wall with a audible crack. Agnes kind of
Thank you, Bert.
looks down from the stairwell. It's like, so... And then she looks to Kala and Buttons.
It's a sort of ritual thing.
Yeah, you see,
He's fine.
Is it?
the magic
Oh, I wasn't aware.
or fate or the little gods directed me to y'all.
Look, I
fine,
made
he
my
falls a lot.
reservations pretty clear at the start.
He falls a lot. It's fine.
Yeah, and she kind of follows and carefully moves by the rest of y'all, leading y'all down to where at least the first floor was, and then another 2 floors below that, to a large open space with about 6 people sitting cross-legged at points in a circle that has been etched into the floor and filled with some sort of it's not quite silver, it's like a orange silver. Um, 6 people are sitting at differential points around the center, which is a single column of a kind of translucent black crystal, about maybe 3 feet in height, with a number of channels and runes carved into it. This is like, they have been charging the waystone, and it is ready. Do you need additional? It's ready to be opened. We need about an hour to direct and aim it, and ensure that it will stay open for the next 12 hours past that. So if you have anything that you need to do, we can get that taken care of. In the intervening time, as she is explaining this, a young elf with kind of, well, actually no, she would be about, yeah, young. She's about maybe in her late teens, for an elf that's extremely young, with blue hair that has been cut short, comes in wearing similar robes to hers, though just at the half cloak instead of the full cloak level, with a chest floating behind her on a silvery disc. The chest is ornate stone with a number of bands worked into it of various shades and tones of steel. It's like, so. This is the chest of preservation. Contained within it is well, nothing, but anything contained within it will not go bad. Uh, she takes what looks like a small pamphlet of folded papers from the woman who brought her the chest, and hands them out to y'all. So these are the writs of payment written out to the Banker and Coin Changer Guild. You may cash those in at your leisure. Let's see here now. The loot, we are having a design drawn up for it. We do not have very many fabricators, but we do have, and she goes over to one of the nearby cabinets down that line the room, and starts sorting through a number of boxes within them. Sorry, my brain is starting to peter out. And
So
draws out what looks like a small wand, maybe about half the length of a normal wand, with a grip in the center as opposed to at the end of it. And she brings that over to Ren. It's like, this is it's not the most well designed. Personally, I don't like the wand shapes, and she hands over a hands the focus over to Ren.
Yes.
This will, we can replace it. It's fine. It's fine. It's no more difficult to construct than anything else. And so it is a wand equivalent of a spell orb. Which means it can replace one costly non-consumed material component of a value of up to 100 gold in spellcasting.
A spell orb.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Thank you.
She's like, we find them very useful for mages that are over-eager in their spells and choose ones that they do not have the financial means to cast readily. Identification is it is a business after all. Anyway, she points to buttons. You have the pack. I would like that back. I will procure a new one for you from our warehouse later. She points at Bert and takes what looks like a small crystal, holds it in front of his kind of face, and there's a little bit of a ripple across it before his image appears in the crystal. It's like, this will be added to the Access Archives. I think that is everything that you wanted, yes?
Bert's going to do kind of the arms forward kind of bow, but he's going to hold it so it's obvious he's not just stretching. Like kind
She
of a respectful bow.
just
then-
looks blankly at you. It's like, so, then, yes? Do you need any additional time, or can we open the gateway once they are ready?
Oh, right. You need rations, don't you? Need food, don't you? I say to Ren.
Need food, Ren?
I would love food.
You need some rations. Sorry, I forgot.
I can give him a couple for now. You don't think we'll be gone long, do you?
We don't really. I mean, I can take you to the mess hall if you want, but I don't think they sell rations.
I have some brie wraps up leftovers, the stuff that dries well, like the apricot almond biscuits and things.
Well,
Oh,
maybe
I
it's
love
time to test out the
apricots.
cold chest.
Oh yeah, I could even put the rations in there. And you
It's a
see
good
Kala
idea.
digging through and like getting wax satchels and stuff out of her backpack and putting them in there.
Okay, you open up the chest of preservation. It's not actually cold, but when you reach your hand into there, your skin feels kind of tingly. You put the food in there and it just looks like food. There is the faint scent of vinegar coming from the inside of it. You get
And the rest of Kala's pie slice goes in there too, because that was like an eighth of her body size. There's no way she finished her quarter of a pie.
yeah. It's like, do you want to take this with you? I mean, the levitating disc is, and she gestures to the blue-haired elf. Hers, it will disappear if she gets too far from her, and I can't send any more of our.
It's a little heavy, but I think Red can help me with it. It has food in it, so he'll probably help me with it. Right, Red?
Right, I think we've squared up our dealings here. I don't think we are owed anything, so I don't think the disc is necessary.
Okay, that's fine. You
We owe you
have
for the food?
me?
Oh, we just put Kala's rations in there.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Disregard. I was pulling out just an assortment of coins and maybe some lints out of my pocket, but once I realize we're even, I'll throw them back in my backpack.
Right. So, you have about an hour until the thing opens. I have to go and she turns and immediately just starts walking up the stairs.
Why don't you? Do you want to rest for a bit, Ren? You did take a bit of a tumble.
I feel wonderful. Apple pie, belly full of apple pie. I never felt better in my life. A big knot on his forehead, on his head.
Insight check.
All right, I'm gonna deceive or deception.
Well,
Yep.
I guess the question.
Hmm?
So would this be insight or medicine?
Medicine would probably be better unless if you're examining him. If you're just seeing if you believe him or not, then it would be insight.
Can I pose either check with deception?
Yes.
I guess I'll do insight. That's 19.
I rolled a 20.
He seems fine.
He's fine.
Yes, sir.
About an hour later, the dark crystal in the center of the room starts glowing a soft green as energy crackles along it. The six figures that are seated at key points around the circle turn their attention to it, place their hands on the ground, and the orangish silver material starts glowing a resonant color. There's a burning ozone smell in the air as the waystone projects a wave of energy outward that pushes you all to the edge of the room for a second before that energy draws inward and space rips open in a wavering, undulating circular opening in midair. Through the inside of it, you see what looks like a similar room.
The Feywild, correct?
That is what you were told. That it was the green reflection.
That is more rocks than I am used to seeing there. And Kala heads towards the portal.
All right.
Ladies first, and I'll bow deeply to Buttons.
Oh, well, thank you.
I'm gonna go like at Button's side.
I'll go once they're all passed, and it seems that Buttons got the dignity she's required. I'll go last.
All right, as you pass through, there is this weird kind of stretching sensation. Like part of you is in one space and another part of you is being pulled to another space. You see a dark starlit background for a single moment before, with a pop, you emerge into a relatively similar looking room, though now that you are here and seeing it in detail, you notice roots are sprouting between the stoneworks and covering the ground and almost like a mat. This is difficult terrain to move across due to the nature of the roots and stuff. At the distance of the room, you see what looks like a stair that leads upwards, and you remember that she took you 2 stories underground to this location and realize you're probably underground on the other side of the portal too. The portal itself remains in place, a glowing, wavering disc.
Alright, do you two know where we are?
We're in the tower, right? Out and up.
We're in the Feywild.
Yes, we
Yeah,
are.
that was the idea. Was to go to the Feywild.
Although, I think it's the other way around. So, Agnes described it as an echo of where we were, but where we were was an echo of this place, in my opinion.
Kala
Okay,
shrugs.
important question. Do you know the domains of the Archface?
Of course.
So
What-
you know how
what
to
kind of-
navigate us.
What kind of Fey, ancestral elf Eladrin would I be if I didn't know such things?
Well, because see, here's the thing. I don't. All I know is that you don't want to go into their domains if you're not invited, which we aren't. Because
That I can't disagree with.
So,
I just know you should
yeah,
never
if
directly
we could-
answer anyone's question here. That's very important.
So y'all are ascending the stairs.
Yeah, Kala's also moving at difficult terrain pace because she is looking for sprout and seedling from extra areas, like as they travel. Just like
Okay.
a kind of, if there's 5 or more seeds, grab one kind of thing.
Make a perception check for me. What were you going to say, Ronnie?
No, I withdraw my question. I don't know if I answered a question directly by accident. I might have.
Only a 5.
I mean, the roots don't generally generate seeds, so yeah. Going up the stairs, you notice that if there is a story between the room that y'all emerged from and the ground level, you don't see a means of accessing it. Cresting the top of the stairway, you find yourself in an area that looks similar, though there is no tower here. Instead, you find yourself standing on a large stone slab covering most of the island. A floating crystal astrolabe of sorts rotates slowly above you, tracking positions of distant stars. In the At the edge of the horizon, you see just a sun hovering slightly above twilight, casting out orange and green colorations. Uh, those are the immediate things that catch your eye. Looking across the bay, you see a small collection of maybe 14 uh, buildings of various makes, models, and types. Some are simply leather thrown over crossed wood timbers. Some of them are stone buildings. Past that, you see just a sprawling forest with silvery leaves. The intervening space between the island and the um, mainland is dotted with what looks like miniature glaciers that cast off the setting sun like diamonds. And we're going to go ahead and call it at that.
Oh, okay.
So I'd like to thank y'all for joining us for our first episode of the Briar campaign, the Briar Garden campaign. My name's GM Gearnos. Today I've been joined by Ronnie, Ziziva, Meryl, and Tux as we take our first game in my homebrew world of Audra. The background
I want
music
some
has
more.
been provided by Tabletop Audio. Thank you, Tabletop Audio, for allowing us to use your music because we don't have the clout to get free music from important people like game developers.
Maybe one day.
Yeah. Anything y'all want to say before we wrap it?
Can't
I
wait
want
to
to
I
see
had
say
fun.
I loved it.
Thanks for making a space for us, Gyarnos.
So I'm looking forward to it.
Can you say that one more time, Meryl, with your mic a little bit closer?
So I don't know about y'all, but I've had a good first session. I'm looking forward to playing more with these characters.
I just want to say, Merle, when the character says drat, it's my favorite thing in the world.
Oh, that's great.
So
That's a great word.
So I gotta say, I am loving the interactions between Rin and Bert.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
That's a
hope I
highlight.
wasn't like picking on you too much. I was trying to
No,
even
but
it out, but
I liked it.
because you
No,
were
bring it.
failing,
It's good.
just
I'll throttle back on my mopiness. It just was working, and you were getting,
Yeah,
you were
no,
like
y'all are
playing
doing
into it.
fine. Does anyone want to hand out inspiration to any other players for next session?
Oh yeah.
Ren. I don't know what I was expecting, but Ren was not it.
All right,
Okay, I'd like to hand one out to Bert.
all right, Rin and
well,
Bert.
hang on. We get how many do we get per?
You can give one out, but if you give out any others, then I get one for my NPCs.
All right, and so that's we collectively get one.
Each of you can
Or-
give one out. Yes.
Oh,
Okay.
each of
Perfect.
us gets one. Okay. See, I will give one to Bert then.
Okay.
Okay.
'Cause,
Bert
yes, Bert
already has
Bert
one,
had
so
a very good impression.
Bert wouldn't benefit from another one.
Nope.
That's a metagame. Okay,
Not really.
Akala, you have inspiration from me.
Okay, we both already have inspiration.
Yep.
I used mine.
Oh, okay.
So,
And you already have it, so
Yep.
well.
Get
Yep.
inspiration. Use it.
but I will take that inspiration. Thank you.
Okay.
Well,
Why are you giving
Oops.
it? Why are you doing
I don't know. I thought we
Because
were all
I'm
allowed
an
to
evil
give one.
GM.
Oh, I mean, why are you taking one?
Because someone else handed out inspiration.
That was his only
Oh.
one.
I'm having fun.
Oh, I thought. So I will withdraw my.
You're just
inspiration.
confusing it for everyone.
That's my fun.
Fusion is life.
I just
We
spent
are in the
3.5 hours making stuff make sense in your mind.
And can I just say, I'm so excited that I found a storyline reason of why all of a sudden at 3rd level I'll start understanding magic.
Yeah, that was
I
quick.
really appreciate that because it is kind of annoying and otherwise like, oh, here's how I do spells as a rogue.
I mean, I think you should have given it to Buttons for Drat.
For Drat, for sure.
You can give it to
Buttons.
You can give one to Buttons for Drat if you want.
And you'll get an. Oh yeah, I'll give it to Buttons.
Okay. Hey,
Absolutely.
Buttons, enjoy
worry.
your
He
inspiration.
I'm not
comes up
worried.
with- Yeah, he
I'm not
comes up with BS legendary actions anyways. Inspiration doesn't mean anything.
Fair. It'll help keep us alive.
Buttons, a well-deserved inspiration for Drat.
Thank you very much. Yeah, well, this is a very fun starter. I'm really
I
feeling
like
the character.
Buttons. I don't know how much it was, but Buttons like being at Clueless and Burt being like, "Come on, this
Oh yeah,
No.
no, that
don't talk to the strangers."
that was entirely the vibe I was going for. And
Yeah.
I think it worked well.
I do have a hard out, y'all, at today because I have to work in a couple hours.
Yep.
So
Yep, no,
take
thank you
care.
again, Gurnos. Thanks
Hope it
for
goes well.
everybody.
Yep. Take care. Thank you for
Yep.
playing.
Yeah. Thank you all.
Yep. All right. So I got the end screen up. It says the bonus roll. Thanks for watching. Follow us on Twitter at bonus roll. Hopefully, a few people follow us on Twitter at bonus roll for announcements of like we're going live or we can't play today, so we're playing the Sprawl. Or join us for TBR Games where Zizva and Girnos play Final Fantasy XIV.
I love the mood of,
Yes.
okay, you wake up from a trance. Are there any beautiful women?
Yeah.
It's
All right.
like
It's a
I
character
too
defining
always
moment.
wake up in public